Productions.
Neph to America is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Neph to America, your cultural commentary for the end of days. I am David Lee Corbo, a.k.a. The Raven. That is Matthew Hepner, the merchant of brown water and host of Straight Bible, and also Straight Bible, Where Are You From? Is that what they're calling it?
No, it's not Where You're From. It's Straight Bible interview sessions. We had Doc Brown on today. It was a really good episode. You loved it.
I was watching it at home. Very exciting. Epic of Esau is always a fun discussion. And well, before we even get into anything, let's remind everybody where they can support the show if they so choose. You can go to patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad. Sign up there and gain access to episodes before the general public does, ad-free listening experiences. You're also going to get access to communities, private communities of dangerous retards, as well as discount codes off of merchandise from TopLobster.com. That's where you're going to go to get your Bohemian Grove tickets, as well as all of your other fantastic Nephilim Death Squad merch. Also, Straight Bible stuff is on here as well. Where's the tab for that? You see at the bottom, there's all these little logos.
I don't think so. Is there?
I mean, not Straight Bible stuff, standard coffee stuff. I don't know what you got.
Look at
no, I'm never going to click on that.
I don't think anything pops up when you click it.
Well, this is what's actually important is Bohemian Grove. You click on buy tickets. It brings you to this thing with our faces in jars, and you can buy tickets to the general admission August 8th. Bohemian Grove Day in Wildwood, Florida, and all of the information that you need is down here in frequently asked questions. If you have a question, fucking click there, check and see if it's there before you
How many
bother
people
us.
about come to Bohemian Grove?
Last year it was around 300.
300?
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be this year because we're not
300 NDS fans in one place at one time.
Yeah,
was it pandemonium?
And actually, surprisingly, only one person got belligerently drunk. And they didn't even cause a scene. They just got like disturbingly drunk. We had to be like, hey, man, you're fucked up. Hold on a second. We already have a super chat. And when we do Neph to America's, Nancy has to read the super chats. But first, we have to make the Nancy sound. Go ahead, Nancy.
Blap, blap, blap.
That's right. That's what it says. Blap, blap, blap. Thank you. 7 minutes to freedom. We're going to set an entry right now because that is going to interrupt the flow of the show, which I'm not unwilling to do, but I'm not willing to do it for anything less than $5. So Nancy, let's not gong these people or read their stuff for anything less than.
We're not a 501c3, but we could sure act like it. It better be a lot of money if you want to be involved in this operation.
Absolutely, we can. You know what's funny is I didn't realize that the last episode that you and I did together, we talked a little bit about the pastor Joseph Z as well as Perry Stone. And they were just examples of this sort of grossness.
At least 3 times a day since that episode, I remember the Perry Stone thing, and I just stop what I'm doing and just.
Is that true?
Yeah, dude.
I remember the Joseph C thing where he puts his hand on his chest and he proclaims,
that was
crazy. Some prophecy over people. But whatever. The point is that I didn't realize that probably made Tony Merkel completely close the door because I didn't realize they were friends like that. I had no idea, because you don't remember. You're listening to a podcast. I listen to the confessionals, and sometimes I hear these names, but I don't really give a shit too much. So I don't remember them. Today I was in the gym. And I was listening to an episode and he was talking about Joseph Z and it was like a glowing endorsement. And I was
wait. That Merkel's glowing endorsement of that guy?
Of Joseph's, the prophecy guy, the prophetic.
No way. Those guys are buddies?
I don't know.
I would never have guessed that.
Well, Jin says, I don't think they're friends much anymore. I mean, I just listened to an episode today. He was talking about him. Who knows? But I'm gonna call out, cringy, retarded shit wherever I see it. So
it's kind of one of those things, though. If you want to get in the Christian game and you want to like get in with the people who potentially know the Lord and you're serious about the kingdom of God, you almost like that's where you go.
Sure,
you go to the pastors, you go to the people who are like the professionals or whatever you want to call it. So it's like, where do you go if you really want to know the word of God? You really want to know God. You really want to get in the kingdom of God. Like,
right,
you're not left with a lot of options.
That's true. Well, I mean, I had an interesting conversation. I kind of wanted to get into this a little bit before we start bringing up content, but we did an episode with the guys from Phone Booth Podcast. It's Bill, Ted, and Vince. And, Ted is actually a long time, both Bill and Ted, longtime buddies of mine. Some of the first meaningful interactions I had when I got on Twitter, and they were really cool to me.
They're really named Bill and Ted, like Excellent Adventure?
No, they're not. They're not really named Bill and Ted. They like to maintain a certain level of anonymity because what they do is a lot of don't. What's the matter? What happened? Did you hear something? What's so funny, dude?
What in the world was that?
What's the problem? I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so they wanted to remain anonymous.
They wanted to be anonymous, dude.
Okay,
you're acting weird, man. What was that about?
What about the Italian blunt smoker? Like what? Because I tuned in for like 30 seconds, dude.
Was he smoking a blunt?
Yeah, Joe Brown was like, bro, the boys are defending the Bible, man. They're going hard on this whole thing. There's a gay Italian guy.
Sure.
And then I flipped it on and he was smoking blunts and he was asking about stuff. And you guys, it seemed cool. It seemed like a fun conversation.
I was having fun, yeah.
He seemed like a really sincere dude that would say all the questions that like people of the world would say.
I thought they were fair questions. Yeah. A lot of them were fair questions. And, it was a 3-hour episode. What I will say in hindsight, which isn't a problem until what happened on Twitter. Would you believe it that after the show there was a fallout? Sounds very familiar, doesn't it? That took place on X.
What do you mean? Now he's being nasty?
Well, so we have this whole discussion, and for the audience who watched it, all the dangerous retards really said a lot of fantastic things about the episode.
Yeah,
I didn't understand the nature of it. So it ended up being a bit of an impromptu debate where my buddies, Bill and Ted, they ended up contributing very little to the conversation because this guy was just, he was steering the ship in a big way. And
so you guys think you're just going to go on the show and BS and have a good time?
Sure,
and
have
then
fun.
All of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, you guys are Christians, and that's how it turned into?
Well, he wasn't even accusatory in that way. It was very nice, I thought. Very funny guy. You know what it is? He also has this really thick accent.
Is he Italian?
I don't know what he is actually. We were never really clear on
Joe
that.
Brown thought he was Italian, but now that I think about it, Joe Brown's from the country. That could be like
that's anybody. Yeah. You Italian?
Okay.
Italian?
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of a Borat accent. It ended up yielding a ton of fun. We made a lot of.
It looked like fun. I literally saw it for 30 seconds. He rolled a blunt. He said,
I never noticed he was rolling the blunt. That's funny.
I think he did. He started smoking something. He was rolling something and smoking it. And then I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool and fun, man.
Well, it was. And, it was crazy because we were there for 3 hours. That's a lot longer than our typical episode, mostly because we're just lazy and we like to get out while the getting's good. We want to leave on a high note. We don't want to drag it on so that people listen to half of a thing they like and then half of some boring shit. So we typically don't go that long for our own attention span and that of the audiences. But he kept us there, kept asking questions. And by the end of it, it seemed really cool. Now, where things went south,
I saw that too. You were pretending to be his voice, and it was hilarious, dude.
Somebody said Vince is just agnostic David from a parallel dimension. You're not even that far off, Ridcock.
What's that his name?
That's his name. It's Ridcock, dude.
Wait, but that was hilarious. You were like,
it was fun.
You were pretending to be his voice. It was like really good. So then the next day he started to be not cool on Twitter.
Well, it wasn't even that he was being not cool.
There's got to be a misunderstanding.
It was that his inability to like gauge the room was astounding. So what ended up happening the next day on Twitter, for those of you that enjoyed that episode, I wake up and all of a sudden, it was the next day or 2 days, whatever, I'm hit with a bunch of tags. I've been tagged in a bunch of posts, and it is like 5-minute long clips, each one. So we're talking 25 minutes worth of clips of him talking to AI, getting AI to rebut everything that we said in the episode so that he can like push back. And he wants us to watch all these things. And
after 3 hours,
this is what I'm talking about. The gauge of the room. You couldn't gauge the room. And this is what was really crazy. So, after all this time, he shows, and I go, hey buddy, look, man, I love you. I'm not going to watch these fucking videos. All right. If you want to summarize what the questions are.
Wait, did you just say TLDR?
No, I didn't say TLDR. I was
okay.
very nice. I just said, look, I literally said, I said, I think I said, Vince, you beautiful son of a bitch. I'm not watching this. You know, and it was like cheeky and everything's cool. If you want to summarize them and ask me, I'll do my best to answer. But also I started to discover after some time, it was like he had beef with the Bible. So he was using us as if we're representatives of the Bible or something like that. Like, I mean, I guess we're Christians, but it's like, if you have big big questions, like go and talk to people.
Have Ed Mabry on.
Have Ed Mabry on. Talk to talk to Alberino. Talk to somebody that makes a lot more sense than we do. And in fact, our ability to completely everything that he asked us, we shot it down. Not shot it down. It wasn't cruel. We were just answering the questions, but it was like, I'm surprised we did as good as we did.
I was going to say, he probably loved, like, these are some real ass dudes. I know these guys are some real ass dudes. Like, I've watched their career. I know them. And they're giving me responses that, okay,
but that's the thing. Like, so, okay, let's say you have a conversation with somebody for 3 hours. They answer all your questions rather gracefully, right? Or graciously. And the normal response is like, hey, man, cool.
Yeah.
You've given me a lot to think about. I'm not like totally sold, but I'm going to keep going down this path because you had a lot of answers for things I didn't think there was answers for.
Mm-hmm.
And you would go, cool, man. But instead, he goes, well, AI says X, Y, and Z.
But maybe it wasn't like adversarial. Maybe he just was smoking blunts and was like, he was doing the deep dive. You provoked him to dig into it more. And then he's like, wait, now I have more. Like, that's what you're saying. He has more questions, but he didn't mean it like, you owe me an answer to all 5 of these 5-minute things.
Yeah.
He just was going into it deeper now.
Well, that's a kind outlook. And that's,
well, did he say mean stuff?
No, well, it wasn't that he said mean stuff. It was like he kept going and kept going and kept going. So I've now done a 3-hour episode with you. Now I've done 24 hours worth of answering questions on Twitter. It's been fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And like a lot of it is just kind of like he's mean spirited and bitter. And I'm saying,
no,
that's no, that's what he's doing on Twitter. It's getting weird. And I keep answering him. And eventually I start to highlight like, hey, dude, I'm not here for your entertainment. You should talk to these guys. And he goes, I'd like to see these guys debate AI. Like, hey, man, nobody wants to fucking get on your show.
Debate culture. Man.
Well, even if there was something that was worth doing, to sit on your show, which, by the way, nobody watches it, you know, which I don't know. Maybe that's because he's talking to AI. That's his co-host. His co-host is AI on his own personal show.
Who's Bill and Ted? They're not the co-hosts?
They're doing a different show where they're all together, but he does his own solo show where he's just talking to AI.
That could be cool. Some guys just super high talking to AI. And like,
sure. But imagine being like, hey, now that you've spent 24 hours responding to my questions, 3 hours on a live podcast that you didn't know was I'd like you to come on my show and debate this AI. So everything just kind of went to shit.
So he's just doing it for content then? Is that the thing that people do?
No.
They're just trying to get the looks and the views and the likes. And
eventually enough time passed that I became aware of like what was going on. It was that he's the kind of guy that there will be, if you said, what proof could somebody give you to show you like, whoa, wait a second, there's really something here with the Bible, with Christianity, with Jesus Christ. There's really something here. There is nothing you could give him.
Well, his story's not over.
No, his story's not over, and that's fine. But like our conversation was over. That was for fucking sure because I dragged that shit on for 2 days beyond it. You know, Top bowed out pretty, and Top was really cool with him too. In the beginning, they're just going back and forth, and then Top realizes like, now this guy is I don't even know what you would say. It's just one of those things where he won't have it. He cannot imagine that there's anything worth the time of day in Scripture. He thinks it's, you know, he'll say something like,
so then why keep like asking?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. He'll go, Satan could have written the Bible. And you go, okay. He's like, to make everybody kill each other. It's like, okay, but if you look into the Bible, it's like, you know, thou shalt not murder, you know, love your enemies, you know, all these different things over and over again, right? Murder is condemned and so that doesn't line up. Why would and then
but people like that you just don't mess with. You just you're gracious. You do a 3-hour show, and then it's like, hey, bro, good luck with everything, man. You seem like a nice guy.
Yeah,
wish you the best.
Means Business says because AI took his soul. It's really weird, man, to watch him because AI straight up lied to him. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the Bible says no man can look at God, but Moses saw God, and it's like, well, God says you can't look upon my face. but Moses was hid in the crevice of a fucking cliff face and was allowed to see potentially God's back as he passed by.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, even in that moment, God is going through these great lengths to kind of protect Moses from his entire glory that, you know, I don't know if you want to use your imagination, could blow the skin off his fucking body or something crazy like that. So it's like right in the beginning, the very first, you know, complaint that we have is, AI says there's a contradiction there. And it goes, we go, well, not quite. And
yeah, but I think God gives enough things that look like contradictions that if you don't want the truth, he says, no problem, I'll give you an out.
Well, that's what I told him.
Like that,
I said at some point to him, I said, hey, man, just be careful because God has a history of sending strong delusions to people who don't want to see the truth when it's been revealed to them. Like, if you really don't want, if you have an agenda and you want to stay away from this because there's no, you know, in your estimation, there's no way that something as cliche, and I understand this sentiment, something as cliche as Christianity could be the truth. And then he cites over and over again all the ways that men have failed at representing God, as if that is somehow reflective of God.
Which the Bible says will happen, so it just validates the Bible. But yeah, I mean,
and
that's
his AI is named after a Hindu demon too, which is funny.
Of course, yeah. And it means something interesting, like Maya.
Nancy's hip to it, dude. She's all into that.
Well, because, you know, he kind of got on the community's radar last night, and that didn't go so well for him. And then, of course, half the people that watch this show are smarter than we are, so they start sleuthing through shit, and they quickly figure out the idea of, like, Maya means, like, to deceive. It's like a Hindu goddess that means, like, you know, that is associated with deception and a number of other things. And I'm like,
Illusion.
What's that?
Illusion,
right. So, and when that gets pointed out to me, he goes, cool. Well, you fucking goofy bitch.
Yeah,
you goofy bitch.
Time, man.
Well, you know, I gave him a lot of it. And
but when I came to a Bible, I didn't want it to be real. I did not want to think that, like, the American white Christians in all the church pews, that, like, they were right. I was like, no, there's no way, dude. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, I get it. You know why? Because part of it is, like, you know, this grandiose search for the truth, and there's no way in hell that it could be in the drawer of every hotel room. Right.
I was like, there's no way. And then all these, like, dreary people that I see that are just, like, doing, I'm like, no, there's no way those people are right. And then I got a Bible and I was like, oh, damn, this is definitely the truth.
Yeah, we had that discussion too, where it was like, you know, of course there are many people that are moving through the church system that we're all familiar with that are not really about it.
Yeah,
of course that's true.
It doesn't affect some people, man.
It's very strange that the inability to grasp that conversation. You know, I had a lot of fun because he made it fun, and because we made it fun too. You know, doing the accent and everything was a lot of fun. But afterwards, I was like, oh shit, I kind of misinterpreted that. I misunderstood what I was doing for 3 hours. I was fighting a guy who has all these hangups, but will go to zero lengths to confirm or disprove his hangups, right? Rather than go, because if you were that, I was never that passionate about, like, the Bible not being true or anything like that. I always kind of looked at it and said, well, maybe, right? We've had this discussion before where like all throughout conspiracy, it comes up. So of course there's some element of me that considers, well, maybe there's really something there, but this guy's like super passionate about it.
That it's not true.
That it's not true, that it's a deception from Satan to make people kill each other. And, you know, you just whatever stupid, hollow complaint that you could throw at it. It really is like stuff that comes from an angsty teenager, which is fine.
Right. But that's how you deal with an angsty teenager. You just go, okay, no problem.
Well, you know,
good luck with everything.
It's at some point as an adult, right, with agency and resources, if you really have that much of a mounting pile of complaints, you would go, let me see this thing. Let me look at it. Let me read it. Instead, he outsources to AI.
That's weird.
Which is just, it's like lazy.
So much, but not read it.
It's lazy and it's sloppy. And I don't know. It was just a really strange, but, you know, there was a lot of cool stuff that did come out of it because the type of learner that I am, I learn like conversationally. And I think you also learn when you teach. And it's not what I was doing. I wasn't teaching, but like somebody's asking me questions and I've got to try to present this now. And as I'm doing that, it's kind of like carving these grooves in my brain of like how to think of this entire story. And we were starting to talk about the Abraham and Isaac situation. And a lot of people have some issues with that, you know, understandably so, because God is asking Abraham to sacrifice his son. And, you know, that's really scary. And that sounds like, you know, if you want to say God is the demiurge and he's an actual demon, the God of the Old Testament is a demon. That's one of the things that you would use to say that. And I disagree with that. I see you shaking your head. I disagree with that as well, because the same God that makes promises to Abraham that the world will be blessed through his lineage is the same God that brings about Jesus Christ, you know, and then that's all the New Testament. Like that is a fulfillment of the promise that God made to Abraham.
Yeah, that whole story, he's saying, no, you don't have to do that, but I will.
Yeah,
I will. Like he's a king who comes down and fights on the front line of the war, dude. Like if Trump starts a war, Trump's not out there in Iran like doing the stuff.
Right.
God says, no, I'll come get down on the front line of the war and I'll do it.
Yeah.
I won't actually make you do that. I'm glad to see that you're that loyal and that faithful. And supposedly they live in a time where like that's a thing.
Right.
Like if God told us to sacrifice our kid, we'd be like, what are you talking about? We don't understand. We don't have any grid for that. And that day, that was a thing they had a grid for. He says, okay, I'll go. I'll do it.
Right. And
he
that's
goes there. God says, no, you're not going to do it, but I will.
Yeah. That's what's really crazy about it too, is like, you know, so the first thing I showed him is like, hey, by the way, you leave the part out where God stays his hand and he gives him a ram instead to sacrifice. Right. But the other idea is like, you know, that he stops this from happening. And then he goes and does that for the world, for he so loved the world that he does that. And to me, that's like really such a crazy, I zoomed out and I was like, damn, so much of the Bible is about God's promise to Abraham and the fulfillment of those promises. And, you know, but for whatever reason, you know, it's just like, oh, well, it's a demon. It's a demonic thing to ask somebody to do that. And then he said like, yeah, man, if a voice popped up in your head and told you to do that today, you wouldn't do that. And I said, yeah, because Jesus Christ already fulfilled the law.
Amen.
So I wouldn't do that because we're no longer sacrificing anymore. Like that's not a thing that has to happen.
Amen.
So if something said that, I would be super cautious. Like, wait a second. What are we talking about? Jesus already came and made it so that the law has been fulfilled and we don't have to do that anymore. Yeah. The ultimate sacrifice has already happened.
Yeah, the problem is though, like if somebody doesn't want to hear it, there's no amount of debating or winning debate
that
changes anything, dude.
That's like I don't like the debating thing,
man. It's like God's very clear, like don't throw your pearls before swine. I'm not trying to say anything ugly about anybody, but he's just making the point of like people who don't want it, don't force feed them.
Yeah,
let them be, man.
Well, a lot of what I was doing, and I agree with that. I even said that, like Matthew, like knocking the dust off your feet and kicking the fucking,
don't stick around and win the debate. Get out of there.
What I was doing was like, okay, this is being laid out in such a concise way. I can retweet these responses and people can see that linear, like that line of thought where everything makes sense and everything connects. So it wasn't so much about Vince after a while. It was also for my own sake. It's like, okay, like if this dude's going to press back on these things, let's say this. Like, but
on the X, you kind of have to respond to everything.
No, I stopped responding to him because
I don't think I will ever respond to a YouTube comments or anything ever again, dude. I think I did it nasty. Like 1 or 2 times. And it was like, I thought it was like a genuine question. And so I was like responding with like a genuine heartfelt response.
Yeah, it's hard,
man. Not that, dude. It was like, no, I'm just here to burn you down. I was like, okay, I never mind.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's not. But, you know, I've never, since my, I guess, my coming to Christ, it's far and few in between that I have to like lay out an entire thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I have to like answer in a concise way because especially for me, I've been learning for years and I'm still learning now, but it was an opportunity to kind of say like, all right, these are fair questions and like decent enough pushbacks. Do I have an answer for those things? And then I did. And I was like, okay, so that what does it reaffirms it in my mind.
Yeah.
But it also helps me to understand it better because to teach is an exercise in understanding.
That's why it's good to like read the Bible to your kids, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
The gay guy with the blunts was rough, dude. Your kids are going to question you with all kinds of stuff, dude.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. And you got to go search it out to give them some kind of answer.
Well, that was cool too, because afterwards it came up. I was on a walk with my family and you know, now I'm sitting there having this discussion about Abraham and Isaac. And even my son, like before I even start to get out the story, he's like, yeah, but God stopped him from killing Isaac. And I was like, yeah, dude.
He knows.
Yeah, he did. So it was very cool. It's just an interesting interaction, man, because when what started off as something I thought was very genuine ended up just like this guy. And then, of course, the dangerous retards found him and they started pounding his ass into the dirt and things got real upsetting for him. So I want to show you this kind of on the topic of maybe even the based kids,
yeah, let's
right?
see
Kids
some videos, man.
Here, let's put
It's
this
a
up
good intro,
on here.
But we're ready for the videos.
All right, hold on.
Hopefully there's some grays and some
No, this little girl crushes.
some rakes.
So what's happening here is it looks like they're at like some sort of a fair, and these little girls are talking to anti-abortion Christians. I imagine they're Christians. They're against abortion. And these two teenagers come in and try to save the day, try to save the little girls from being influenced by the evil anti-abortionists. And check out how this goes.
Justifying murder?
Well, the baby also has a life, doesn't it? Because the baby exists. But it has a life. Okay, but cells are there too, made up of human life. I promise you, it doesn't have.
No, the little kids are
the little kids are they're anti-abortion. So those little girls, this is a different video than what I saw, but I'm sure we're gonna get around to it.
The chicks from the Renaissance Faire are the ones that are saying like, yeah, you should kill babies.
The chicks from the Renaissance Fairs, and maybe it'll show it. They come up and they try to save those little girls. What you can't see is off camera. There's a woman with a banner that's against abortion, and those little girls were having a conversation with that adult woman.
Oh, and these chicks were like, hey, we'll save you, little kids.
Exactly.
You're
and these
gonna
little kids turn around and go, what?
Wow.
What? Psych? What does she say? She's like, it's just a clump of cells. She goes, those cells are the very things that make up human life. Like, damn, bro. I don't know how old do you think these little girls are?
The little ones?
The little ones gotta be
7 or 10. I don't know. I don't know. These are like teenagers though.
These poor dummies are Tina, here, let's look at it.
Cells are there too, made up of human life.
I promise you, it doesn't have arms or legs yet.
Oh, okay.
So what?
What you're telling me right now is literally anything that is living made of cells is not living anymore.
No, whatever's inside your body has nothing to do with that is not a baby.
Yes, it is. That humans are existing right now. That's because of cells.
Humans shouldn't exist. There's that.
Humans.
That's I feel like this is Vince. It's an edgy kind of like, I don't know where you get that nihilistic humans shouldn't exist. I don't know if they're going to show it.
That's what she said.
Humans shouldn't exist. I'm going to let this play and then I'm going to explain the part that we don't see. So here, let's go.
Do you support murdering born humans? Like, you think murder is fine? Like, school shootings are good?
No, do you?
No, you just said humans shouldn't exist.
I said it as in not humans should have never been in existence.
Yeah.
Look at the amount of animals that have been harmed to us.
What?
Let's talk about white rhinoceroses. They haven't extinct because of us. Humans may be decent, but that doesn't mean they're good.
No one's good.
No, you're supporting murder.
So with your logic, having a baby could mean that baby could end up not being good.
And you're murdering them and you think that they would be good to murder? No humans are. God is perfect. God is perfectly just.
May Aphrodite bless you guys.
May Aphrodite. When I tell you, like, there is a real unironic rise in paganism, like it is a thing. It's an actual prevalent thing. How do you think a chick that the chick that was doing the talking like got like that? That poor girl. I mean, that's mostly media. Yeah. Right. It's mostly media. It's mostly sort of like anything that has like a leftist feminist bent to it. And I guess, to be perfectly honest, it's the disenfranchised nerd who gathers in the dark corners and says things like this to each other. And when you're at a Renaissance fair, you're surrounded by disenfranchised nerds who are all saying goofy shit to each other. So then when you're with a nerd at a Renaissance fair, when they go Aphrodite bless you, you go like, of course, because you're at a Renaissance fair and you're a fucking nerd. So this is just, two different, I guess, echo chambers. You could say it's two different echo chambers meeting in real life. Here, this has only got like a couple more seconds. We'll play it and then we'll talk about it.
No, I want that nasty person.
No, thank you.
She knows.
Not that it does anything.
That's 14-year-old trying to influence us. I would have run.
Yeah, it's wild.
Amen, bro.
She was literally saying.
That is a 14-year-old trying to influence us on what's wrong. Bro, so the way that starts off, you don't get to see it. What happens is those two girls come over and they go, hey, girls, you don't have to be influenced by this person, talking about the person who's and all of a sudden the little white girl turns around and goes, hey, how about you shut up? And I was like, whoa. And then they start talking about like, you know, this idea of abortion. And the one girl that you just saw, the black girl, she goes, well, I don't know about you, but if I was raped, I would get an abortion. And the little kind of chubby girl, she goes, my aunt was raped and she kept the baby because she loves it. And I was like, whoa, shit.
That's heavy, dude.
It was super heavy. Super heavy.
No, but it's wild. They show up and they think they're going to be the saviors of humanity, telling these little girls, when you grow up, you're going to want to have a baby inside you and kill it.
Yeah, man.
Bro, when I was little and I got told what abortion was, I was like, what?
Dude, I don't even know if my son knows what abortion is. I don't know if we're going to have this conversation
my
soon,
mom
I
just
imagine.
told me it's when the mom kills the baby. I was like, wait, what?
Look,
imagine me at that age. You know how I am now? Imagine me at 7.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, wait, mom,
it's horrifying.
Yeah, to the point where she was just like, shut up. Okay, shut up.
Panda says, I hope I raise my daughter to be like this. Like, yeah, man, that's it's honestly really, what's the word? Like, it gives me a lot of hope, you know, for like the future generation. I've seen statistics that kind of suggest that the younger generations, like even Gen Z is a little bit more, maybe it's not Gen Z, whatever, Gen Alpha is a little bit more based, right? They're not easy to offend.
What age is that?
It's a good question. Nancy, can you look that up? Look up what age range Gen Alpha is. I'm sure somebody in the chat will say something. But
that's younger people though.
So I believe my son is Gen Alpha, but I don't know where he falls in Gen Alpha. But you know, they're not easy to offend. They are calling their homies gay.
They're born between 2010 and 2024.
2010 and 2024. Okay, so damn, that's a 14-year range. Yeah, so my son's kind of smack dab in the middle. And on the older end, some of them are like 16 years old right now. So
the ones that are a little older than that are what? They're Gen
so the ones that are a little bit older than that are going to be Gen Z.
Because Aiden is like what you're talking about.
Aiden's
is
Gen
like,
Z. Yeah, they're a little bit better.
Millennials
Millennials
are like 16.
They clown just like we did in junior high, dude.
What's that, Nance?
0 to 16 years old as of right now.
0 to 16 years old. Yeah. So that's why you're getting some of this data from high school, you know, because when's high school start? 14, 15, I think. So yeah, I think you're like a freshman at 15, sophomore at 16, junior at 17. No. So it actually starts at 14 years old. So you're getting some data back from high school, which is where like some of these videos are emerging out of classrooms and such. And they're like super offensive and they're having a good time. They're laughing and they think a lot of this leftist ideology is bullshit. The whole trans movement and everything, they think it's bullshit. They make fun of it. So I mean, you know, that's it gives me a little bit of hope. Those little girls gave me a little bit of hope. That was nice to see.
Yeah, that was cool.
I like that. All right, so let's hear. We'll get into something else. This is really interesting. This is a video of Donald Trump, and apparently he's going to talk about it. You know, I don't even want to spoil it. Let's just listen to the video, and we'll let it kind of be a surprise here. Let me bring this up. Donald Trump.
It's 10 years. We by the way, we think we've cut it in half, but you do need a period of time. Without waiting many, many years, we know the drug works because we've taken people that were dead. We had a person given the last rites, gone. The kids are crying and started them on this drug, and the person became better. It works, you know, and some don't work. But you learn really fast. It's called the ultimate test, I think, right? You know, they test all these things. They use animals all over the place. They use everything to test. Person's going to die. It's 10 years. By the way, we think we've got it.
Wait, what is this?
So he's just such a fucking, such a mumble mouth kind of a dude.
The medicine.
By the way, I think who just said that? Yannette said there was another assassination attempt. I believe there was. They caught like a shooter outside of Washington, D.C. Might have been yesterday or the day before. But you know, it's gotten to the point now where it happens so often, like people are unmoved. Like,
about anything, dude.
Who cares is right. Yeah. So, and that's not even me being like, you know, mean about it. I'm just like, yeah, there's so many. All right, so we have the medicine that brings people back from the dead. We have tested it, and so it says U.S. president.
Wait, he's not saying it comes back from the dead. He's saying like they're on the deathbed, they're about to die. He's saying like figuratively they're dead. We read them their last rites.
See,
they
that's
take the
interesting.
medicine and then they come back to life.
I wonder if it is just a mincing of words, because I have seen the headlines where it's like he's claiming to have a medicine that brings people back from the dead.
I don't know. Maybe I heard it wrong, but it sounded like he was just saying.
No,
like,
I heard exactly what you said. I agree.
You're on your deathbed. Like, that's it. There's no more hope for you. But then you end up taking this medicine and you don't die.
Trump has declared that the U.S. is very close to discovering a drug that stops people from dying. In a press conference from the Oval Office, he said the drug's in the testing phase and has yielded the first concrete results. I wonder what the cause of death would have to be.
I don't know, but if you're one of those people, you'd be like, yeah, give me it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Right?
Men will long for death but not find it, or how's that go?
I don't know, but if they're like, don't want to die, and they're like, hey,
Sure,
we got this drug. It may work, it may not work. They'll be like, okay, give me it.
Well, there's that idea that we are the last generation, either the first generation that will, I don't know. This is going to be hyperbolic. I could be screwing this up. First generation that'll live forever, or the last generation that will die. So, in other words, the technology and the medicine is there that we could feasibly be among the generation who will see our lifespans, our lifespans expanded, exponentially. Who knows how long?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to come right after us. We're going to be the last ones that die, whatever the age is.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
So,
well, yeah, there's a lot of like science people and like health people. David Sinclair, I think he's working on a ton of stuff.
What's the guy that drinks his cum?
I don't know about that.
Guys, chat, you know what I'm talking about. He looks like a retarded vampire, and he likes to measure his boners against his son's boners. And he's kind of a big deal. Bryan?
No, there's nobody that would do that. That's a big deal.
No, that's a real thing. I've been making fun of him. He never sees my tweets, I don't think. No. Vince, hey, that's not nice, guys. But yeah, go on. You were saying?
I don't remember what I was saying now. I got a little
Bryan Johnson.
Bryan Johnson. It is Bryan Johnson, right? Yeah, yeah.
TopLobster.
I just didn't want to assume his last name was Penis and it was all about, penises. Because he's like drinking the cum and his urine, and he's measuring the, I don't know, vascular, like something about his cock and his son's cock. And
well, I don't think Bryan Sinclair's that weird.
Maybe
he's just like working on stuff. I mean, even Andrew Huberman, like all these dudes are working on stuff for like long-term
Bryan Penis,
good health. That is awkward, man.
Bryan Penis is a good name. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose it depends, right? If they tell you, hey, Matt, we've got some ways to expand your life, let's say close to 200, and your quality of life won't be so diminished that it'll be a horrifying experience. In other words, you're not going to fucking feel 200. Would you be interested in that? I suppose it depends on what they're doing, right?
Yeah, I think the short answer is maybe. I don't think so, but I don't know.
You don't think you would be?
No,
really?
Dude. What are you talking? Like the eternal realm is way better than this.
Amen.
But like, yeah, especially if I realized it was out of the natural order. I just don't know how much it's out of the natural order. I'd have to go back and kind of really study the scripture. Like Moses lived to 120.
Yeah.
And his eye didn't grow dim, and he still had the strength of a young man. It was like God had to take him out.
Right.
Like he was so close to God.
So strong.
He was going to keep living. And that's way past the guys that were living to 900.
Sure.
That's like,
well, that's an interesting thing.
So that's
because
why I always say 120. Like that's reasonable for us to live to 120. But if they say like 200, I'm like, I don't know. You guys are doing something crazy, and I don't want to tamper with my DNA in any way. So I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is interesting though to even think about the idea that dudes were living to 400, 500, 900 years old, right? I mean, that's how some of the lifespans in the Bible were.
Yeah. Well, imagine that's why the technology was so much better back then. And that's why they had built all kinds of stuff. Like, dude, if you're 900, imagine how smart you are, dude.
That's true. Yeah.
And you learned from other guys who were 900.
Well, the thing that I think is interesting about it is you hear a lot of people say shit like, oh, dog, I don't want to live that long. Like,
Well, no, I'd be like saying, do you want to,
even the
be in high school for 4 years? Would you rather be in high school for 40 years? No, I don't want to be in high school for 40 years. So I'm going to go from this life to the eternal realm.
But do you think that those dudes like that were living to 400, 500, like if they were like, hey, would you have rather died at 80? You think they would have said yes? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying the eternal realm, like where we go from here is going to be way better. Than this.
I agree with that 100%. It's just an interesting thought because, now you'll meet a lot of old dudes that are like, you know, hey, I'm tired, boss.
Yeah.
You know, I'm done. Whenever the good Lord wants me to come home, I'm coming home.
Yeah, my grandpa said that. My grandpa
But dudes are living to fucking 600 years old back in the day.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if they were as bitchy.
No.
No, right?
No, they were just like living on the earth, dude, having a good old
Correction.
time.
Do you think they were bigger? Because you know how they're like, oh, Adam and Noah and, you know, were fucking huge?
I don't know, man. I mean, the fruit.
You've seen that, right?
The fruit was bigger. No, but it makes sense. I mean, you know, the weight of sin is like crushed humanity over time. Like they go into at Kadesh Barnea, Moses sends in spies, right? One from each tribe. They go in, they come back, and it says they have a cluster of grapes on a pole between them. Dude.
They're fucking huge.
Yeah, it's not like normal sized stuff.
Sure.
Dude. And they brought the other fruit of the land back, right? They went into the promised land, which some would argue is a type of heaven. They came back and showed people the fruits of that other realm.
Yeah.
And said, all right, you guys want it. And some of them wanted it and some of them didn't. They mostly didn't. They mostly said, oh, no, man, we got to kill giants if we go in there.
That's interesting.
But Caleb and Joshua were like, no, we could go wipe them out, man. Like God's with us.
Yeah. Yeah. That is interesting. I don't know.
So I don't know. So if they're eating bigger, healthier food, did it make them grow bigger and healthier?
Simulacra says, yeah, let's extend the shittiest part of life. Well, I mean, I guess that must be the thing, right? If you were 600 back in the day, but that was the equivalent of walking around in your 40s and 50s, you know, as far as like your physical body goes,
right.
You probably weren't longing for death in any kind of way.
No, you talk to the old people, bro. When you talk to the old villagers, they're like, no, man, life is still good and fun. They're like, well, I'm having as much fun and I'm as happy. And my brain, a lot of them say, yeah, my brain is as sharp as it's ever been.
That is interesting because I was talking to my wife the other day, and she was saying, I don't know why the villages gets such a bad rap. People seem to hate it, you know, and I'm like, look, you got to think about it this way. Like the boomers are the generation that hoarded all their wealth. They're infamous for not talking to their fucking kids or grandkids. They want to live forever. They might fucking live forever. Remember that funny bit we were watching where it was just like, I can't wait to leave you all my wealth and all the things that I've built here. Yeah. And then he's like, he pauses and his son goes, you're not going to die, are you? He's like, actually, there's been a lot of advancements in medical technology. I think I have a long life.
Good, yeah.
It was really funny, but it was like, there is something almost kind of cold and corrupt, this unwillingness to like, number one, relinquish your wealth.
Yeah.
And then this prioritization. I'm not saying all boomers are like this, but they're infamous for this. So in generalities, this applies. This substitution of family for wealth. And you kind of see this a lot in the villages where it's like, hey, who the fuck needs kids and grandkids? We got a Spanish square to dance in every night.
Yeah.
Then when the sun goes down, it's loofah pounding time. You know what I mean? So it's like, and they're just popping pills to get boners that God took away from them years ago.
Know,
like,
but it's weird, dude. Like my mom and dad are that generation, but like their parents lived through the Depression, you know? So they were raised just way different, dude. They were raised with like, you know, people today go out to eat maybe even once a day, dude. Like my parents went out to eat like maybe once a month, maybe, but her parents like never went out to eat.
It's like
never experienced all these luxuries. I think they lived maybe they just have like the most drastic difference between how they grew up with bare necessities to like everything's at their fingertips. And I just think maybe that's too much for that generation.
I think it is. And you know, I get it. So I walk through the spring, like sometimes you know, Jack will go for a sleepover over his buddies. He's been doing that lately, and that's been super cool because that frees up a night every once in a while for me and my wife to go out. We'll go to the springs or the squares rather. It's cool because they're playing music and you can go and you can get a drink and walk around. And I enjoy it because it's kind of a vibe and it's also safe.
My mom's 70.
Your mom is 70. Okay. All right.
That was unprompted. What's Sparrow say? No, she said, I think her parents are older than boomers. I think 70 is boomers, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nancy, how old are boomers? Can you look that up? So, but as I'm doing it, as I'm walking around and I'm hanging out with my wife, I have this smirk across my face because it is dystopian and it is like inherently corrupt and there's a movie. What's that, man?
Born between 1946 and 1964.
Yeah, my dad was born in 1950 and my mom's 5 years younger, so she would have been 55.
Okay, so
maybe Sparrow was just taking a shot at me trying to be
that
funny.
Could be it because you're old.
Fair. My bad.
But there is something artificial and uncanny about it.
About what?
The villages.
Yeah.
And it is like it's kind of
Well,
it's
but
kind
it's
of
a two-sided coin. It's kind of rad that they are still so active at this stage of the journey. I do admire that.
Yeah,
I do admire that. Like my grandma used to swim every morning at the Livermore Valley Tennis Club, and then when she quit swimming every morning, she got old like so quick.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So quick.
That'll happen. Once you stop doing shit, you fucking
see
die.
The boomers, they're very active. They're doing stuff. So on the one
They're
hand, I'm
fucking.
like, that's pretty cool. Like that's very
You
cool.
like the part where they're fucking.
No, that's awkward.
No, you're cool. Like that's pretty cool.
No, dude, you want to hear a terrifying story
About
I
them
heard?
fucking?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
So a lady comes in, she's totally my buddy, and I'm asking her about her life. You know how I do. I'm just asking people about their life.
She's like
and
getting
stuff.
my shit busted open.
She used to hang out with the neighbor chick.
Smashed in
right?
the shitter.
Okay. She's going out with the neighbor. They're like shopping and doing stuff. And the neighbor was like real crazy. And she said, I'm going to have your husband one day.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And the girl was like, oh, ha, ha, ha. They joke like that in the villages. They're over there partying. They're having drinks and stuff.
I'm going to chug his cock.
Come to find out, her husband ends up having an affair with this neighbor. No, it's way crazier. Like goes and lives with her, and that neighbor, her husband is still in the house, but he has dementia disease, dude. Yes.
Oh no, that's the worst shit ever.
Dude, I heard this and I was like, this is literally something that's nightmares are made of.
That's the worst shit.
Imagine the
nightmares
guy
are made of. Yeah,
has dementia disease. He's in his house.
Yeah, I think it's just called dementia.
Another dude with his wife, and she's just carrying on like, oh yeah.
And then
that's
there's
Bob.
times where he's remembering and then he's forgetting. So for a brief moment, he's just like, honey,
well, no, you just
honey,
don't know
are you
what,
fucking Frank?
You just don't know what people know, dude. Just because they can't communicate to you doesn't mean they're taking everything in. Like me and Jess say, if you're ever in the hospital with somebody and they can't talk, you act like they can hear everything. And you speak life over them and you say good things. You say like, yeah, they're looking great. They're doing good. Because their spirit, no matter what, is taking it in.
Dude, she deserves the flamethrower, honestly.
But is that not the craziest thing?
That's the worst shit I've ever heard.
Have some crazy stories. But I was
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a real absolving of morals. Well, I think when you get to the end of the line, you kind of go like, my uncle, he used to say,
right,
you're only going to live once, so might as well eat all the fucking things. And then he gets diabetes, and it's like, all right, man, like, don't just reach the end of the line, or at least as you perceive it, and then go, fuck it with all the maintenance. And morality is kind of a thing that you're constantly working at. And so in that way, it's like a maintenance, right? You're always like curbing the desires of the flesh and this and that. And at some point, they just go, fuck it, I'm a million.
That's my question, is at some point, is like, that chick couldn't have been like that when she was 30. Did she think she was going to grow up and do that to her husband? Like,
oh, that's the worst shit ever.
At some point, did they get retired, have like unlimited money, if you will, and where they could do whatever they want, and somehow that led to that kind of thinking? Like, I can't imagine she just thought like that her whole life. I don't know.
I hate that story.
I do too, bro.
That's the worst shit ever.
Okay, you got a heavy spirit now.
Yeah, I don't like that, dude. I don't like that.
I had the heaviest spirit for like a day when she said that, and I still think like that. When I told Jess, she was just like, no. And I was like, sweetie, the lady just told me. She bought a vanilla syrup. She loves your oat bars. She gets like a hot chai.
She chugs the neighbor's cock.
And then she just told the whole story.
I cannot believe she told that story to you all willy-nilly style. That's a wild thing to just be like, hey, by the way.
No, she's my buddy.
No, there's no part of her that went like, hey, you're probably going to think this is fucking terrible, but here we go.
No, she wasn't the bad guy in the story. She was the one whose husband left her.
Okay. I thought this was the fucker, not the fucky.
Her husband left her to go be with the neighbor.
Yep.
And the neighbor's husband still lived in the house with dementia.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
She was telling me this story, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
I hope, my life is really fantastic. My relationship's really fantastic. And it's one of the things I'm most grateful for that God has given me. My uncle, before he passed away, he used to say, you're a richer man than I'll ever be because of just what I had in that way, these spiritual things.
Amen.
And the other day, just yesterday, actually, I was about to go for a walk with my family. And my neighbor came out, and she's got this cute little dog, and its name is Ginger, and we always stop and we pet it. And she just, as we say goodbye to her, she starts saying a bunch of shit. She's like, by the way, I just wanted to say, you guys are so nice. It's so nice to see you, so in love, and all this. And I'm like, that means so much, because she watches sometimes from the porch. You don't see her, right? But she can see me if I'm getting in and out of my car. And I want to stay that person. I want our relationship to stay the type that when you're looking from the outside in, when we don't think anybody's looking, we're still crushing. We're still having fun. We're still loving on each other. And we're definitely not going off and fucking the neighbor in front of their dementia.
But you have to cultivate it. I mean, some disconnect happens for them to be able to do that.
Evil, bro. That's fucking evil.
Yeah.
That's evil.
Disconnect.
That's That's like some fucking high level nightmarish torture shit.
That's one of the things is like disconnect is the only word I can think of. Is thhere people just disconnect from like their family,
well, you
their
have
kids,
to,
or grandkids, their spouse.
And then
like,
you have to do some mental gymnastics to justify it, right? You got to go, well, he doesn't even remember.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fuck Frank.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Dude.
All right. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Here,
the spouse thing, you got to cultivate it, dude. The people just think like you're just going to get old and everything's going to work out. It's like, no, you have to cultivate your marriage, man. You got to stay in shape. They got to stay in shape.
Yeah.
You got to do stuff together. You got to love the Lord. You got to pray.
Yeah, man.
Like all this stuff has to happen. Or I mean, it happens to people all the time. The marriage just goes south.
You know what is crazy, though? What I'll say before we go on to the next thing, you could just exist in the villages, go to the squares, and have really no idea that that's happening around you.
Sure.
Because it's not like that. Like a lot of people will hear horrifying things about the STD capital of the world, which is my understanding that the villages secured that title recently.
But they say it's because they answered those honest. Like,
They got nothing to hide.
25-year-olds are like, I'm not writing that I got syphilis.
I think Chicago's got a really high instance of AIDS, and so, but are they willing to tell you? I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
But in that way where you could go through it and not really think about the loofahs and
you could have a cool life here, man.
Hey, this fucking place crushes. There's no black people. It's fucking great. All right, so let's get into this. This is going to be from the New York Post. This is an interesting topic here. Whistleblower claims, as a CIA whistleblower, oh, you know what? Just fucking put an ad right there, right over my shit. Whistleblower claims the CIA used DNA data from Ancestry and 23andMe customers.
I don't like it
23andMe customers in search for aliens. This is May 26th. So is that today? Yeah, just today. The CIA has been accused of attempting to use DNA submitted to 23andMe and Ancestry.com to aid in their hunt for aliens on Earth. So let's read this a little bit. Does the CIA have its own Men in Black? Apparently, the government isn't disclosing everything they know about UFOs. A whistleblower has accused the CIA of attempting to use people's DNA to aid them in their search for extraterrestrial life forms that are allegedly living in our midst. Shout out to all the starseeds out there, you fucking homosexual retards.
He's like an alien guy, talking guy, right?
This dude?
Yeah, who's that guy?
I have no idea. He looks like he's from Seinfeld or something.
He's definitely not a dude that knows the Lord, if I remember right. If I remember his interview.
He's not a dude that knows the Lord. He doesn't look like a dude that knows the Lord. He looks like the scientist from Jurassic Park. Remember the fat one?
He kind of does have those eyes.
He does. It's weird, too, because he also looks like he's been plucked out of 1998. The quote, the CIA wants to hunt them down, said science fiction writer. Oh, that's who we're going to? Fantastic. Jason Reza Giorgiani.
I feel like I've seen him on an interview or something.
Okay, here we go. It's about to say, while discussing the so-called top secret government program in an episode of the podcast American Alchemy. They never talk about an episode of the podcast Nephilim Death Squad, but American Alchemy seems to be getting a lot of traction lately. And it's very strange because I never fucking heard of that show at all. And now all of a sudden it's like the biggest show in the world. Giorgiani claimed that he was alerted to this bug hunting initiative by Army veteran Lynn Buchanan. Is that really how you is that Buchanan? Did I just nail that?
I think that was good, dude.
Hell yeah, man. Who claims he was a psychic spy
from China trying to steal your mind's elation.
Don't do that. Don't do fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers. By the way, that guy, very gay.
This guy?
No, the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Anthony Kiedis?
Yeah, he's also dating like a 19-year-old, which I'm gonna go out and say it's fucking weird, dude. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, he's like 50-something years old, and he's dating this 19-year-old. She looks like a high school kid, and I go, that's fucking weird. You're a weird guy.
I don't even want to know that. I just want to think about him.
When you listen to those songs, you go, these fucking suck. Like the melodies are cool, but the lyrics, I'm like, this guy is smoking cock and making music. This doesn't make any sense.
He nailed some stuff like way ahead of time, dude.
He just said some things that are like catchphrases. He says like a tagline, and you go, that tagline resonates with some aspect of reality. But then he goes on to just say a bunch of fucking gibberish, smoke cock. So this guy, Lynn Buchanan, or girl, whatever, is a psychic spy with the CIA's remote viewing program, which investigates whether individuals could use extrasensory perception to conduct recon on distant objects, events, or people. And, we talked to Seth Kicklater, and he's a big proponent for that shit's not real. And what's happening is you're being introduced to what is effectively a fabrication by the spiritual realm. They can control a lot there, so they can make a lot of the visuals that you think you're seeing. Under the Bridge was a banger, though. It's a good song, but I don't know. Am I the only one that just doesn't like that guy?
Who?
The guy from fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, I don't know anything about him other than what I knew about him 30 years ago when I was watching MTV over the summer and just thought like, oh man, these songs are cool. And I saw the Chili Peppers on Ecstasy. And it was wild. Like when Flea comes out with the bass, dude, there was like an earthquake, dude. It was like,
you know who else I think sucks ass?
But he probably is super sketch, dude. He's been in the Hollywood world because he was on like the Fonzie show. I remember that, like, what was it called? Good Old Days? Whatever it was with the Happy Days with Fonzie.
Sunday, Monday, Happy Days.
He's on that as like a teenager. So yeah, he's probably been in that game for a long time. And who knows? Maybe he is super Sketchosaurus Rex. But I'm just saying it was like music from my childhood. So I'm like, oh man.
Sublime fucking sucks too.
You've been saying that lately. Dude.
I've been thinking about it. I'm like, Sublime fucking sucks.
Why,
I like
40
them.
ounces of freedom. He's just saying, you know, by the time you get done with 40, you feel free.
Well, it's weird to just have this dude because he's like a white dude and he's doing reggae and then he's speaking Spanish. And I know you're a product of like the environment that you're in, but all the music is like super simplistic in the way that reggae is. So it's not really like hyper talented. And the lyrics are just like, it's music to, I don't know, fucking slam H2. You know what I mean? Like it's not, there's something about heroin music or drug music that I've really grown out of and don't appreciate anymore.
Sublime, I never was a big Sublime fan, dude. Everybody liked it because the shirts look cool. And it was like cool, but I
had
never
the shirts. I was a faggot.
I was like, they're all right.
Well, he has that song, The Wrong Way. And when you really think about that song, it's like, who dedicates all of this? You got to write the music for it. You got to write the lyrics for it. You got to perform it over and over again. And the song is from the POV of a grown man who has sex with effectively a 14-year-old girl. And he talks about, he talks about wanting to liberate her from her drunk, abusive dad and her brothers who are also fucking her. But he can't get over the fact that shit was tight.
Oh, I don't like that.
And I'm like, and we all go like, oh, fucking this song bangs, bro.
The one song that I would skip to on that CD was, it starts out down in Mississippi where the sun beats down in the sky.
That shit goes hard.
Yeah, that was like
down in Mississippi where the sun beats down from the sky.
Yeah, I was like, disco. Yeah, the rest of it
give it
was
up and
like
they give it up and they give it up, but they never ask why. Yeah, that shit goes hard. All right, I'll give you that one.
But the rest of
them,
was
a rolling stone. Whoa!
Yeah, you're good at that, dude.
So let's see what else we got here. Green was notably part of the remote viewing program in the 1970s, but left the intelligence agency long before the founding of the DNA detective sites. Okay, so he was.
What are those creatures supposed to be? Those are aliens? I don't know what the fuck. I miss something?
These are just AI generated graphics. Yeah, I don't know. You know what, Sparrow? You're a white woman. Of course, you think Sublime is fucking great. I love you, but you know, I gotta be honest with you. White women love Sublime. Buchanan had allegedly learned of this so-called campaign after being approached at a dinner by 3 individuals claiming to be Nordics. Tall, blue-eyed, blonde, allegedly. I love that. So here, they can't even get this right. Like, look, this down here are the tall, blue-eyed Nordics. They don't have hair or anything like that, so that's interesting. So the tall, blue-eyed, blonde, and allegedly telepathic visitors from beyond that said that are said to currently be living amongst us. Quote, they live in like small towns in Colorado Rockies, and they pass because they look like tall Scandinavian people. Yeah. Huh. All right, that's interesting.
Palladians.
I mean, this idea that I don't even really want to read the rest of this, but this idea that they are.
That's a creepy robot, dude.
This is all just AI generated, graphics for no reason. I don't know. I mean, I guess what we're faced with is there was a time where BlackRock purchased like 23andMe or something like that. And they said that
the BlackRock.
Nope, that's not. Well, I mean, yeah. And they said basically, I think the fear was that BlackRock maybe was going to trade our genetic information with, if they were going to, let's say, engineer something in a gain of function research lab, and you wanted
life
to be
is in the blood. You start shipping off your blood to people.
That's
why the
Mormons,
dude.
the Mormons
I don't really
like
even getting the blood samples when they, the doctor wants to see your blood work before they like look at you and stuff. Like, I don't even like that, dude.
Yeah,
I don't like the whole like giving out the blood.
No, I agree. I think that, well,
I'm not worried about it. It just feels a little creepy and weird.
Jehovah's Witnesses have a real hard line against that.
They do?
Yeah, dude. I remember. So when me and my wife were first together, and it was real early in the relationship, so we hadn't really discussed too much. I mean, we had known each other forever, and we had been together for a while, but we hadn't had to cross any like really heavy bridges. Because it's not a super old relationship.
And then all of a sudden
we're having a baby. And the doctor says, you got to sign the blood transfusion paperwork. And she goes, no, because her mom is there. And her mom's looking at her and basically she's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to sign the paperwork.
Which is what? That if
you
need
all
a
of a sudden,
transfusion, they'll put somebody else's blood in you?
Basically saying like, yo, during this, you could lose a shit ton of blood if something goes wrong and you need a blood transfusion. You got to sign off on it. And she didn't even talk to me about it. And that was when I first discovered, I was like, oh, shit, because she used to be a Jehovah's Witness. And she still had those hangups at the time that like, oh, damn, they're really like that with the blood. And I was not religious at all. I'm just going, if my wife needs fucking blood, like that needs to happen. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to.
But she's like, no, I'm not taking somebody else's blood.
Well, it wasn't even that sort of a hard stance. It was just like her mom was in the room and her mom was still a witness. And so it was kind of just like the pressure of that. It wasn't something that she was
I don't
thinking
know. It's
through.
Weird, man. It's intriguing, dude. If the life is in the blood and you put somebody else's blood, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. It just seems weird. I don't know. I definitely don't like the idea of sending my blood to 23andMe or whoever they are.
No.
Say, yeah, take my DNA and my blood. And
but of course they're doing nefarious shit with it, right?
They would have to, man.
And I don't think they're looking for, it says, so in that article, it's basically about them looking for aliens. I don't think that's what's happening. I think they're looking for that bloodline.
What bloodline?
Well, that serpent seed bloodline, whatever, this Nephilim bloodline, this thing that these people who are in this royal, these royal families.
Wait, you think, yeah, maybe. I'm just saying they're just taking the blood and they can like create stuff with it because they have their DNA now. They can do, whatever.
Well, I'm saying if they are searching.
But you're saying maybe they are looking for a specific blood to be like, dude, we got some.
So there's some narrative within alien disclosure that there is a technological component and a psionics component, and they're trying to pair individuals up with technology that they can't use. And it's unique to people's genetic code. So if you're of the correct genetic code, you can use the technology. So this is all highly speculative shit. But the idea that some aspects of the shadow government have their hands on technology that basically turns to dust in their own hands and they can't use it. This comes out of like stories that people have been sharing.
But they can find certain people that
some people can use it. Right. And I don't know what to make of that. I don't really. I tend to think that that's probably bullshit, but then again, most stories come out of something that's interesting and something that has a little bit of truth to it. So, you look at these royal families and they're obsessed with genetics. A lot of the governments of the world, Israel obviously is going to be obsessed with genetics. This idea of trying
to trace back like what tribe they're from.
Sure. Yeah. So there's a lot of reasons why the CIA would have an interest in 23andMe. It's a genetic database of how many people. I mean, my dumbass did Ancestry because, I'm named after a guy that was put up for adoption, and my mom's dad left when she was little. So there's like people in our family that are just gone. And, there's kind of this idea of like, well, what did I come from? Kind of a deal.
Well, dude, I've already accepted that somebody rad was in my bloodline, dude. There's definitely some badasses.
Oh, sure.
I don't know who they are. I don't even know from 23andMe, dude, but I know like some badass dudes. Like I better represent the bloodline, right? Like right now I represent the bloodline of Christ. I'm in the kingdom of God.
Grafted and
like,
all that.
Also, even my like natural bloodline, there had to be some badasses back in the day. I don't know if it was 100 years ago or 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago, but like there's definitely some dudes I want to make proud from my bloodline.
Sure.
Right?
Well, my curiosity got piqued, and I ended up doing that, and I found some interesting people, but nothing like that. So the idea that they're doing anything with this is the same thing with the Mormons. The Mormons are obsessed with genetic material. They believe, I guess the higher in the Church of Mormonism, whatever, the Latter-day Saints, the upper echelon, whoever's leading that, allegedly. Comes from Heidi Love. She showed us the articles. I don't remember shit, but they can trace their bloodline back to the original tribes, the 12 tribes. So
who can't? I'll bet. Like,
but also, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's no like genetics doesn't matter, lineage doesn't matter.
Right.
We're saved by
grace through faith.
So there's no reason to, especially to be a religious organization who claims to be Christian. And then to be clamoring over your DNA is like, how the fuck does that even make any sense? And look, to be interested is one thing. but to then like dedicate millions and millions, probably billions of dollars and get tied in with the government and have a mountain full of cum or whatever the hell they're doing.
That has to be nefarious.
It's like, dude, this is about Christ, right?
Well, just imagine if you're, sometimes I like to hear these stories and say, okay, imagine if I was reading this story in the Bible. So what's the story now? Is like there's some institution, a religious institution claiming to represent that somehow it's tied to God. Let's just use quotes when we say God.
Okay.
And they're collecting a bunch of blood from all the humans.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you're reading that in the Bible, you're like, yeah, this isn't good, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds nefarious. It sounds, what would you call it? Like, evil mastermind levels of nefarious. You know what I mean?
And the humans may or may not know that what they're doing is nefarious, right? They could just be being puppeteered from the unseen realm, and they're just doing it. And maybe there was just a lot of money in it.
Many such cases, I would
say. But then the unseen realm has got other plans.
So this is Tim Burchett. He's been one of the guys that's doing all this disclosure stuff. And he's talking with the blacks, and he's saying that there are actually 8 different alien species. By the way, I do want to say that all of the black people who are new agey must be really upset, because for the longest time they're like, Yakub made the white man, we are part of an alien species. Like that is a huge narrative in
really,
and so far they're like, well, there is tall whites, but there are no fucking tall blacks, bro. Black people must be, shout out to Billy Carson, he must be freaking the fuck out right now. Here, let's see what this is.
I've heard the definition of about 8 different species. I don't know till I see it, till I shake hands or paws or whatever they got.
Okay, now you think he's gonna say any of them black? any of those species black?
With them, I get sent a lot of material, and I get a lot of pictures and videos, and people want me to come out to the house and see something. I'm always afraid I'll end up in a freezer in North Carolina doing that. A family of cannibals will get me or something. But no, I'm very cautious about that. I've got a bookshelf full of books that people have sent me. You got to read this. It explains it, and what it is and what's going on. And I'm really cautious about it.
Simulacra says, is his legs crossed? No, dude, that's his giant dick. That's what that is in the middle.
All that. I've heard the definition of about 8.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard 8, and if you go into some of these things, it's like I've heard up to 60 different species, and I don't know.
They're just getting a narrative going. They said, okay, here's the 4. There's an insectoid, there's a gray, there's a Palladian, and there's a dinosaur. And they're like, yeah, but this other guy said, no, man, there's up to 8. Let's get this conversation going. Let's get the people like talking about it. Because the one guy at the water cooler, he leans in, he says, hey, man, they found 4 aliens. The other guy goes, no, there's 8.
I don't know. Honestly, it's a huge thing. I don't know how the black community is ever going to recover if none of these aliens are black. They'll say that they were the original species, but then what would happen? Oh my God. If that happens, then the narrative is like, well, we were seeded or genetically modified. Then all of a sudden black people have been basically primates, and that'll be really rough for them to accept. And I don't think that that's true at all. But if you're going to accept a new age deception and they say, hey, well, the tall whites, they came down here and they fucking genetically modified you. And you go, well, what was I before? And you go, you fucking monkey.
Okay, so I don't like that. What does Nancy say about all this? Is Nancy still there?
Nancy.
I'm here.
Well, which one of the aliens do you like most relate to?
The tall whites.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. That's definitely right. Not
the mantis?
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. You're being nasty. Okay. I thought we were like buddies today.
Well, which one?
I called her Mantis the other day because she kind of reminds me of Mantis.
Why would you want to relate with any other ones? There's like the reptilians, there's the mantis.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh, good point. Good point, Nancy.
Great.
Am I wrong? As soon as if they were like, we also have the thick blacks, I'd be like, they're evil, right? Immediately, I'm like, they're the evil ones,
weird.
right?
Tall whites. Sounds like a name Trump would make.
I'm like, they're fucking. Those are the evil ones, right? Yeah, 100%.
That sounds exactly like Trump would say when he's like, "Yeah, a group of the people in America they're voting for me." He's like, "The tall whites,
the tallest whites, the thick blacks go around the galaxy stealing bikes. It's a shame. What a bad thing." All right, here, let's bring this up. This is a kind of an expansion on it. I guess somebody here is going to claim to well, I like the way that it's worded. Somebody goes, this guy is really weird, by the way. Jon Stewart, I don't know if anybody's following him on X. He came out recently and he's like, fucking something bad. Something bad is coming. They fucking did something with CERN. And everybody goes, hey, asshole, why would you vague post about something horrifying coming with CERN? If you were really actually concerned, wouldn't you say what it is?
Yeah.
And he goes, my mistake. They've released an entity. CERN has opened a portal, released an entity into this realm. They can't figure out how to send it back. I go,
how long ago?
It's very recent. We could actually go through his page. I'll see if I can find it. But you kind of go like, okay, that's fascinating. And then I stop and I look and I don't see anything else. I do think CERN is supposed to fire up June 26th. So exactly a month from today,
we're going to fire up again. They shut it off and did repairs,
smash some particles,
yikes,
whatever. And then it'll be down for a number of years, if I'm not mistaken. I think it'll be down for 2 years after
I have to run to the back real quick.
You have to go?
Yeah, I'll be like,
you got to make a pee-pees.
I'll be 5 seconds.
Okay, I'll hold this off. Hey, guys, if you have any questions, I might source some of your questions. I might look at them and decide that they're not good ones, but we could do that.
Do you think people shouldn't donate blood?
Oh, I don't know. I've never donated blood.
I have. Someone's got my blood on them.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Could be. It could be bad. The life is in the blood. You put old blood or young blood in old things, it makes them young. You put old blood in young things, it makes them old. You put organs into transplantees, and they often have either memories or cravings or strange things associated with the previous owner of the organs. There's a lot of stuff there that would give me pause, but I have never thought about donating blood. You needed money, huh?
No, I did it for free. I thought I was going to save someone's life.
You just gave your blood away all willy-nilly?
I did. I was young.
Huh. Tinfoil Tiara says, why are these guys obsessed with entering our butt portals? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, Aleister Crowley found something in there too. Somehow inside the tuchus lies the means to reconstitute or rearrange this reality. I don't know. I don't know why they would, what's in the butt. It's very funny that God hid it in the butt and that Jews told you that's where your G-spot was. That's really funny. Oh, there you go. Alchemical will take your blood. Isn't that funny?
I have good
blood.
That
actually is kind of crazy when you think about that. They're doing butt sex magic. And the Jews are telling you that your G-spot is in your butthole. And then recently an article comes out where they go, that was never true. It was never true that the G-spot was in your butthole. They just wanted you gay and doing butt sex magic.
The Jews.
Yeah, I don't know who said that, but it became a widely rumored thing that chicks would throw around. So,
yo, do you want caramel craze that has 27 grams of protein or chocolate protein brownie for 25 grams?
I don't want any of those chocolate things. You don't understand. You're like offering me crack.
No, they're sugar-free protein.
Doesn't matter. It's just
25 grams of protein.
The idea of sugar fucks me all up. Thank you, though.
Grams of collagen.
I'm going to go home and I make, you know what I have for a snack? It's really good?
Beef.
No. I do tuna because I like tuna. And you just like tuna.
You like the taste of tuna?
Yeah. Tuna mayo.
Like canned tuna?
Yeah. Tuna, mayo, cracked black pepper, and green onion. And then I slice tomatoes. And then I put the tuna on the tomato and I eat it. Because something really magical happens when mayonnaise touches tomato. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. It's crazy good.
A BLT, yeah. With mayo, yeah. Jess makes homemade mayo that crushes, dude. One thing about mayo, though, you got to beware.
Yeah.
Jess makes homemade mayo.
You can only drink so much of it.
No, you got 1 week, dude.
Oh.
In the fridge.
Before it fucking goes, yeah.
Well, you got 1 week. If you open a thing of mayo and it's 8 days old, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. Horseradish. Yeah, I have some horseradish. Is a hard word for me to say, but I have some.
In the store, that mayo will sit on a shelf, not even in the fridge.
Oh, yeah, it never goes bad.
Bro. So, like, whatever they're putting in that,
dude,
it's got to stay inside me. I mean, it just seems crazy.
The produce has stopped going bad, which is really crazy to me. And it stopped going bad.
These are good.
Years ago. No, don't do that. Don't eat that and smile at me and tell me that it's good.
No, it's high protein and like low calorie.
No, yeah. Cherokee Indians were tall blacks. Yeah, but that's the crazy thing. I talk about this often, how you're not on X, so you don't see the we wasery, but black people was everybody. So, we've all had our history kind of obfuscated to some degree, right? Even if you look at like mud flood stuff and the orphan trains and all that in the World's Fair.
Did you guys ever have that guy on?
He's coming on soon. He had to reschedule because something happened to him, but he did reschedule. We're gonna have him on soon. The Improbable Dreamer, and
like that guy.
So you could say safely, like, yeah, our history has been
tampered with.
That's a good way of putting it. And we all have that in common. But black people have done a fantastic thing where rather than like even try to figure out who they really are, they just say we were everybody. So they were Irish people. They were gingers. We was gingers is a real big thing. Of course, we was Nephilim is also a thing. We was aliens is definitely a thing. We was Kangs and Pharaohs. All of them were, which is really interesting. They go, we was Kangs. Our people were Pharaohs. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like, there was some pharaohs in Egypt, but most of the people were like slaves, or there's a caste system. So you were, whatever. Like, not everybody was pharaohs. You can't just claim you were all pharaohs. That doesn't make any sense. Also, are you reincarnated?
Well, the Egypt thing's weird too, because like,
how dare you with your mouth full eating brownies?
Joseph's brothers mistook him for an Egyptian.
Joseph Black? He was black?
He's Jewish.
Well,
right. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph. His brothers come. You know that whole story. They throw him in a well. He ends up going into Egypt. He becomes second in command behind Pharaoh. And then his brothers come to see him. He speaks through an interpreter. He doesn't want him to know that he knows the language at that time, which I don't know. I guess we would call it Hebrew at the time because Abraham was Hebrew. But like they mistake him for an Egyptian.
Okay.
So
it's interesting. There's a lot of mistakes.
Moses gets mistaken for an Egyptian too. So like, I don't know if they were both black or if they were both white or if they were both somewhere in between, but they were close enough to where Hebrew got mistaken for Egyptian.
Well, that is the thing that's interesting, because then they also go like, we was Jews, right? Like if you look into the black Hebrew Israelites, they believe that they were Jews. I'm not even saying that they weren't. That's actually really fascinating. I find them to be some of the worst people ever. Especially if you're going around the streets of New York City, the black Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, well, that's two people groups that you kind of...
Right. I have a disdain. Well, you know what it is? It's like if you go through the city, they'll scream at you, and they'll scream at you about race mixing, and they'll scream at you about being white, but they have enforcers. So they'll have like giant muscular black dudes that are there to like also intimidate you.
Just to fight with you over your skin tone?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I don't like that.
It's actually awesome. But what's really great about that is to be both the Egyptians and also the Jews, is to be both the captor and the slave. And so they were everybody. They're gingers, they're slave owners, they're slaves, they're aliens, they're Nephilim.
So they're not saying anything.
They're not saying fucking anything.
Everything,
but
they're not saying anything.
They are having fun.
Okay, that's cool then.
They're having a lot more fun because, look, we've all been lied to about
history.
And they said, dude, you know what, dude, let's just fucking make it up.
Watch the news today. If they lie that much on the so-called news, what do you mean they're telling us the truth for the last 2,000 years?
Yeah. I agree with that. It's
Isn't
just
there
like
people that say the timeline's not even right? That like
sure. Well, there is something with the calendar. It's like you're supposed to have 12 28-day months. And instead they've like moved some shit around.
No, that can't be right. Because if it was off by that many days, then June wouldn't continue to feel like June. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a good point.
Eventually, June would feel like January. It's like, okay, so
that's a great observation.
It's freezing in June. That can't be right. But I mean, I don't know the science.
Well, no, I think that was simple. 28-day months, 13 months. That's
okay, 13. Then maybe if it.
No, I don't know.
But I don't know. But if that throws it off, then all the months would start feeling different. Like June and July and August wouldn't continue to be the hot months.
I guess. Having us out of sync for stuff, because there probably is like, you have a circadian rhythm and the stars are put in the firmament for timekeeping and signs. So, maybe if you're think you're in one place, but you're really not because the great fucking sky clock says otherwise. I don't know what that could do. I don't know.
All I know is I keep a digital journal. It's not a diary. I'm a man. So it's a digital journal called Instagram. For like my Food Forest page. I'm not trying to get any followers.
Yeah. Oh, guys, go follow the Food Forest page.
I specifically keep it so I have a digital journal and I can check every year. Like I was picking nectarines off this tree on May 3rd. Let me check last year. Oh, and it always is consistent. So I don't know that like the thing isn't off right now.
Maybe it's not. Well, guys, I see you're complaining about us not reading the chat. If you said something important, copy, paste it, say it again. I'm looking now, but I'm not going to go back in the chat because it'll kind of disrupt the flow of things.
I'll watch the chat for you, Raven.
All right, go ahead. I'll allow it. What's the Instagram page? It's
just called Food Forest 352, but it's
Food
just,
Forest 69420.
The whole reason I have it is just to gauge, like, okay, when was this stuff ripe? Is it way off this year? Like, what's happening? What's there? Like, this year is way off because we had temperatures in the teens.
Fucking pieces of shit. Both Z-Man and Scott. Terrible pieces of shit. Okay, here, let's bring this up. Keep an eye on the chat, Nance, because I don't know what Simulacra says. Pick me. I want to know if generational curses are inherited with blood and plasma donation.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, no. And even if it is inherited, it doesn't matter because it's already been paid for. So you could still, but you do, I think you have to call that out. You have to declare.
Sure, you have to anyway, though, whether it's your own blood or somebody else's blood.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know you get a little bit squirrely on the idea of deliverance, but that's kind of like the way that I've come to understand it.
What do you?
No, I know, because you've said it before. You're like, fucking hate it. Isn't that what you said?
Deliverance?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I mean, as long as it's biblical, like Jesus isn't like counseling demons out of people. He's casting them out. So, I mean, I'm not saying there's not a place to ask a demon its name. There's a place for that. Jesus gives us context for that.
Yeah.
But sometimes, what did you call it again?
Deliverance.
So sometimes deliverance is like counseling demons out of people. I don't know that there's biblical context, but that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Well, I don't think that that's not the way that I came to understand deliverance, or at least when I went through. It's like this declaration, like praying the blood of Christ over, your bloodline, right? Your family, but also declaring that you sort of break these bonds that could, because it's like you have this
faith in Christ just does that. Like, like you have to apply the blood, right? Like if the example is on Passover and they had the blood and they had to take the hyssop and they had to apply the blood. They weren't saved because they were Hebrews. They were saved because they applied the blood to the doorpost.
Right.
Yeah, I would say the New Testament equivalent is faith. Like we applied the blood of Christ by faith.
Right, but do you think that it helps at all
to
that,
say? Yeah, dude. Like I think even reading a Bible, demons are leaving you. If you have demons inhabiting you, if you're not born again and you're reading a Bible, demons are leaving even from that, dude.
Here, there's two things I want to address. So Dave Burns asked this: what fat does she mix in her mayo?
I want to say she mixes it up. Shout out Dave Burns. That's
Dave
my
Burns
guy,
is the man.
dude.
Yeah,
He
hell
crushes. Avocado oil or olive oil, but all it is an egg.
Do you know what tastes better? Because I think the olive oil might taste better.
Sweetie, are you in the chat?
I don't think she watches this show. Here, let's see what else we got. I posted a looks maxing picture of David earlier, and that's what I see when I see David. I don't know where that is.
What?
I think that was posted on. Is that you, Q? That was a very funny picture that made me feel bad about myself. Thank you. Mother Horse Eyes. They're asking about Mother Horse Eyes. They want Mother Horse Eyes to happen again.
I don't like it.
Today is Tuesday, isn't it? So I think we might have time this week to do that. I know I have my son's graduation this week, so I got to figure something out. But we might have a day this week where we can do it. Okay, so here, let's bring this up on the thingy, and we'll comment on it. And this says this guy is 1,000%, which is more than 100%. Telling the truth about the Greys. It's the only species I am allowed to research, and he's telling the verbatim truth. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Or
that's
what
a lot of extra. Like if Jesus said, "Don't swear, let your yes be yes and your no be no," he threw in like a bunch of other things to emphasize that he's telling the truth.
He's definitely he's super serial. Okay, let's see.
Greys is that they used to be a parallel reality.
Feel like right there, as soon as this motherfucker did that facial touch, that is
dead giveaway.
It's not a dead giveaway because sometimes your nose is itchy or whatever, but there is something in it's a physical tell. When somebody is lying, they'll often self-soothe. Either you'll see like an arm touch or something like that because they feel nervous and afraid because they're vulnerable because they told a lie. Or they'll touch their face or their mouth. The nose or mouth is a big tell, but it's not always a
This
guarantee.
is interesting, though. This kind of screws the whole thing up for me. And one, it says the truth about the Grey, Gray, and then it says what about the Greys, Grey? It's a little sketch. When they spell Grey different.
Wait, yeah. I never know which one to.
I don't either.
If you're talking about the color, what do you use?
They taught me with the E. growing up.
In Japan?
No, here in the U.S.
What do you mean in the U.S.?
What do they teach you in Japan?
What?
What city?
This was in Arkansas. I went to a private school.
In Arkansas?
Yeah.
I feel like he's like a Japanese insurgent.
Yeah, or spy of some.
Yeah, that's
some
what I mean.
sort.
Yeah. Planted in the center of the country, and then
insurgent just sounds a little more rough, but spy is just like
spy's a little softer.
Yeah. Find out about their noodles. Find out if they really like wasabi.
Yeah,
it was a white school. I was the only half breed of the sort.
Half breed.
She's a Nephilim, is what she's saying.
No, she's not.
There was one black guy.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But he
In
was very
Arkansas?
white. Yeah.
That's upsetting. You think you would go pretty far to get away from him, and then you find out. I actually saw a video recently. Here, this is funny. I want to get Matt's reaction before I play this. So this is, guys, remember maybe if you're a Timeline Cleanse enjoyer, this might have also happened on the Raven, but I think it was Timeline Cleanse. It was a video of a black dude, right? And he steps out in front of the camera and he goes, "Motherfuckers want to act like ain't no black people in Alaska." And then he goes, "You're," and all of a sudden, all these black people start pouring out from the edge of the camera, and they're all, for some reason, going, "Yeah, what's up, bitch? What's up, motherfucker? We in Alaska. What? We out here." And they're all doing it the same, so it's very intimidating.
What was the point?
Just to be like, "Hey,
we out here.
You can't fucking escape us. No matter how far you go, no matter how quiet and cold it is, you can't get away from us." That's exactly what it was, I think, at least. You guys remember that video?
You guys.
Okay, here, let's let's bring this back up. Boom.
Rays are is that they used to be a parallel reality version of Earth. They used to be human.
Oh, I like that.
They destroyed their world. They had to mutate to survive into what we now see as the Greys. They lost the ability to reproduce. They had to shift into other parallel realities where human DNA was still viable, like ours.
But bro, how the fuck are you saying all this? That is
But who is this guy? He's a guy who's got a track record of saying competent, relevant stuff? Or?
I have no idea. He's got a suit on and he's
What's
bald.
his name?
No idea, actually. I've got no idea who this guy is. But it is crazy to say this all with like 100%.
Yeah.
Like what's the word? Certainty. And I do think it's an interesting parallel because demonic spirits operate best when you believe that they're you.
Yeah, pride. Well, yeah, that's pride.
Right? When you identify with that thing in your head that says you're a fucking piece of shit, nobody loves you, you don't deserve love, you're irredeemable, all that shit, that's when they start working on you.
Sure.
So if you're schizophrenic, that's how that kind of process goes. It's interesting, the same angle is being taken here, like, oh, Greys are us. Greys are you. When you just can't bust nuts anymore and you destroyed your planet. And that's why they're coming back to warn us about destroying our planet, by the way, while they take us and they forcefully sexually assault us and they fill us with terror and fear and they paralyze us.
Who is he talking to? Like, is this on? I feel like this is just some guy on a TikTok. This is not like a relevant thing.
I don't know. I mean, that guy who's allowed to study him says 1,000% correct. 1,000.
What if he's in like a classroom, dude? He's just like filming himself.
I have no idea. Let's see what else he says.
And use that to create hybrids to perpetuate their culture.
Has this come to you in bits and
there's somebody relevant.
Chris,
Okay, there's another person.
golly, what in the hell is that?
That's a person.
That's Jewish. 100% that is a Jewish woman. I have never seen a woman more Jewish in my life than that woman. Chat, Israel? Israel? Holy crap.
pieces over the years? Was this an early...
No, he did lay this out a few years ago, but more and more detail has been coming out over the years about why this is happening, how it's happening, and why they're helping us. They're noticing we're making the same mistakes, and they don't want us to have to make.
So they don't want us to make the same mistakes, so they got to rape us.
Yeah, they're just trying to help.
They're just trying to help.
Yeah, just like in 2020, like the government cares so much about you and your health. Yep. That's why you have to wear a mask and get the injections. We care so much about you.
It's always like, it's an insane, and it's really crazy too, because what this does is it's trying to paint the Greys as good guys. I really thought they were going to do Greys are definitively the bad guys. Now we got to be saved by the Nordics or whatever. This is bullshit. Even Timothy Alberino would go, no.
Yeah.
Because he suspects that the Greys are bad guys. Isn't she from the Big Bang Theory? I'm pretty sure that whole cast is Jewish. They all look very similar. Good God. What a horrifying duo to get your information from, huh?
He worked on iRobot and Iron Man and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like as an actor or
and Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, he is a visual effects artist.
Oh.
And a spiritual medium.
And a spiritual medium? Are you kidding me?
There you go. That was the missing link.
A spiritual medium. So he's channeled all this, as always. As always, this is how it goes. They're always channeled.
So when we say where did he get his info, that's where he got
it.
An entity.
Yeah,
because she was saying something to the extent of like, what did he say, or how did he was saying it as if somebody explained it to him.
I think I was just so blown away by her Jewishness that I didn't even hear that.
Who was explaining it to him? An entity.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
The same mistakes and do the same thing that turned their reality into the Greys.
Humans are trying to figure out right now how to coexist on a planet that has shared resources, and we cannot for the life of us work collectively as a species.
Right.
Big problem when the survival of the species requires global cooperation.
Yes. And that's one of the reasons I think we're about to have open contact.
So there's your premise, by the way, for one world government, one world religion, one world cohesion. And that'll definitely, that model right there that this dude just laid out is definitely going to go like,
they're going to come save us.
Christians are they're
running
so
out
wrong.
Of space, we're running out of food, we're running out of water.
But that's the same thing that they've always said, but they've always attributed like a different calamity to it. So it's going to be nuclear destruction, or it's going to be a hole in the ozone that's going to kill us, or it's going to be global warming rising the tides. It's going to, do this and that and the other thing. And then every time they've made a prediction for as long as they've been doing this to us, but fucking us in space or fake space, it's never come to pass.
Yeah, but the food thing, I think they could pull it off, dude, because American people don't know how to grow food anymore. So if they did shut off the trucks and stuff, it would be very quick. People would be in trouble. Man. I mean, it would have to be manufactured. They would have to find a way to stop the trucks from running, the boats from running, all the way that food gets shipped. But like, people can't make food anymore. People don't know how to grow food. So some of this stuff is like, you got to do your thing, man, and like get yourself prepared.
Am I wrong though? Because I look at that and it's like, even if you put that on mute, I'd know something was wrong. Just given the way they look. Just given the way those two people look, I would
somebody
see
called her Blossom, like Blossom from the TV show.
Somebody said a nose like a toddler shoe, which is crazy as hell. But look, man, I don't know, call it discernment, call it racism. I don't know what you call it, but I look at that video on mute and I go, bullshit, bullshit. Something's wrong here. I don't know. I think God made ugly people lie.
But then on top of it, it's like he's a spiritual medium. It's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. That fits.
Yeah. This is a lot of what we're going to see. A lot of new age people are going to clamor towards this. This is, in very much the same type of person that I was arguing with over these last couple of days in Vince, where it's like, you cannot be convinced that the Bible has any veracity, and you will accept any other narrative, no matter how many holes it's filled with, by the way.
How long do you think it is until I don't know, what's the next thing? They show us an alien? And when is the thing where they say, hey, the aliens are here to save us? Like, how long is it till that starts to unfold?
Well, that's an interesting thing. Wade says Owen Benjamin has a theory that lying causes dementia.
I would totally believe that.
It's interesting because as a kid, I would lie. And
then you got to remember your lies.
And it causes a lot of fear.
I used to hang out with people who lied a lot.
Yeah.
Especially when I was on meth and stuff.
I knew a lot of people that lied a lot. It's fucking exhausting.
And you'd be with them where they'd tell this lie and you knew it was a lie, but then they'd be around this person, so they had to tell the story another way.
Yep, and
then
hear
be around this person a third time, and then the fourth, and they've just created this spider web that they live in, and now they're stuck in it, dude. It was like, I'm stressed now.
You've weaved it is stressful, especially when you love that person. I've known people that
leads to dementia.
Yeah, I've known people that I loved. Right. And that like I had to sit there and watch them do that shit to themselves. And if I was a better friend or a better whatever, I could have said like, hey, what are you doing here? But it pained me so much to address like, hey, man, I know you're lying about fucking everything.
Yeah.
Because I could see that they weren't going to concede. and they were only going to lie further.
It's interesting where it says that God will send them strong delusion that they'll believe a lie, and the verse right before that says because they did not love the truth.
That's what I said to Vincent, man, where I was like, look, you know, at some point he might have asked me somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 questions that I answered without being a dick. And that means that you had 30 hangups that were just addressed. Doesn't that make you go like, damn, maybe I need to reassess this? But the fact that he didn't even have that notion showed me like, this is not about finding the truth. This is about confirming your bias.
Playing games.
That Christ isn't the way, that the Bible is wrong,
so
that all these things.
That's cool though. You went on a show, you gave him 3 hours.
But I was like, dude,
I'm good now.
Well, what I said was like, yo, man, like what I said at the top of the show, you got to be careful because God has a history of sending strong delusions to people that don't want to see the truth because God seems to give you what you want. And if that's what you want so bad, you don't want the truth, you want this other thing. All right, here you go. That's what you want. Especially if a thing's been revealed to you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. It was a bummer. It was a bummer to see, and maybe he'll come out of it. I hope he does come out of it. But that's nice. There you go, tinfoil tiara. Where's Amy?
Who's posting the stuff up on the thing?
It's Nancy. She's doing her job.
Why is she posting the nice things about me?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I like you.
What?
Like Raven.
You bitch.
She's the sweetest, man.
Yeah, all right. She's a fucking insurgent. Let me see. Do I have anything else, or should we bring it in for a landing? The little girl, the grays, the thing, the doogity doo. No, that looks like that's it. Here, you know what I'll do? I'll do a quick scan through the timeline, see if anything jumps out.
You would
on
not
me.
want to see Meth Matt.
Children who are circumcised have. Okay, this is interesting. Immediately something jumps out to me. This is great.
I learned how to juggle when I was on meth, though. Like, that is one cool thing that I learned, just being tweaked out all night, and, like, throw knives and stuff. You ever see me spin the knives? And I catch them? I learned that on meth. Learned how to smoke Newports. Like, it was just like a lot of crazy stuff.
On psychedelics, not psychedelic. I want to go psychedelic. No, MDMA. I would do a lot of
knife throwing.
Not a lot of knife throwing, a lot of like physical feats that I would not have attempted when I was not on MDMA, and I would have a lot of success. I remember one time there was a dead tree. You ever come across a dead tree and you like, even though you're giving it the shakes and pulling like it's not going to come down, and I was all fucked up on ecstasy, so I tied a rope around it, and my buddies, it was 3 of them, they tried pulling the thing down and they couldn't get it, and I said, fucking, I got it. And they were like, you can't do that. You're by yourself. I ripped holes through my palms.
I believe it, dude.
Ripping the tree out of the ground with the rope, and I got it.
I saw you punch the thing at the mall the other day, bro.
Dude, I'll tell you what,
it, bro.
That's a short man's game, punching the bag because of the leverage and the way that it works out. But I set the record on all of those things, and I can tell you they're all calibrated the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're all calibrated the same. I always get about the same score, which is interesting because I wouldn't have thought that arcade machine. You punch the bag.
No, it's got to, dude. If you're playing Street Fighter 2 and you go down,
no, that's Street Fighter.
Like it's got to be the same.
Because there's high scores and it's Street Fighter, so there's a uniformity across Street Fighter.
Got to be in the punch.
I would have never guessed that the punch game was like calibrated all the same way.
Gotta be.
But it's a short man's game because there's like the leverage and the way that the thing is on.
I see big guys hit it hard too, bro. It's just you punch
I saw
hard,
a dude shatter it.
No.
Yeah, damn. Who shattered it? Might have been Ngannou. Might have been Francis Ngannou. Somebody that made sense when they shattered those fucking things, and I was like, whoa, bro, that's different. Who's your favorite Street Fighter character? That's right, you're in the presence of a record setter every time, man. One defeated me. I don't remember where it was, but I was really pissed off about that. Couldn't beat it. I remember Woodbridge, New Jersey.
You always win them, like every time.
I set the record everywhere I go, except for one fucking place, dude. Woodbridge bowling lanes.
How many times did you hit it to try to beat it?
Oh my God.
A lot.
And when you do that, you're swinging so fast, all the blood is going to your fist. So after like the third shot, it aches so bad.
Yeah,
sometimes I've hit it and jammed up like all my fingers and my knuckles.
Your first punch the hardest one or the second or third?
No, it's like second or third. Yeah, you kind of like, you warm up, you figure it out. But I love those things. I love going around and setting those records. Okay, here, let's put this on. And this is interesting as hell. Let's go.
To lose. Yeah, there's also there's many other.
How old is this?
I'm sorry, I think this just happened. I cannot listen to fucking this guy without laughing.
Well, because there's guys who have made fun of his voice,
Mr. President.
I know, but this guy crushed, dude. Like leading up, I don't think he's doing anything now, though, right? Like he said, he
captured a couple black racers in somebody's fucking backyard. The videos are going viral, and so yeah, I mean, some people are too afraid of snakes to touch him. He grabbed 2 black racers.
Rubio got weird, bro. There was a time where Rubio talked like a normal person, and everything was cool. And then whenever he ran against Trump that first time, which I guess that would have been 2016, he just seemed like somebody coming off oxys, dude. He'd have that weird voice. He had that really strange voice thing, and just kind of
You know why his voice is like this, right? Supposedly.
Why?
RFK Jr.
Oh,
do you know the
vaccine
reason? Yeah, vaccine injury.
Yeah.
Vaccine.
No, dude, everything that guy was saying, like leading up to the election, I was like, yo, this guy's crushing. I can't wait for him to get in, but it's the same old story. They don't actually do anything when they get in.
I think it's the funniest shit that he sounds like that, but he's also jacked. That's really fun.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's also there's many other confirmation studies. There's 2 studies that show children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. And it's highly likely because they're given Tylenol. So, none of this is dispositive, but all of
Children who are circumcised are twice as likely to have autism. That is very funny to me. Not like
but
for the
saying
babies.
It's tied to Tylenol, though.
It's very likely that the children who are circumcised are twice as likely to have autism.
I don't know. That's weird.
is stuff that we should be paying attention to.
Yeah.
Eating too much
There's a tremendous amount of proof or evidence, I would say, as a non-doctor, but I've studied this a long time ago. I met Bob.
As a non-doctor.
There's also just
I just think that's very funny.
It is kind of funny.
Meat Cavern says it's not funny. That's because he's circumcised and autistic. But I think that's very funny. Just that whole, what a world that we live in, where you go, of all the things that are potentially creating autism, injections, yada yada, circumcision. Circumcision is makes you 100%
get you
100% more likely to have
with
autism.
those wieners. But no, the Tylenol thing is a problem, dude.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Rhonda Patrick did the deep dive on it at some point and
Sure.
said that, like, if you're using it, chronic use.
Yeah, man.
And she was like, yo, women who use this during the cycle, that would be 1 week out of the month. That's chronic use, dude. It causes tons of problems.
Yeah.
Tons of problems.
My wife has an issue right now where she can't stop taking Advil because she's in constant pain with her back, and to the point where it's like fucking debilitating, and we can't get it fixed because we can't figure out what the fuck's wrong with her. They did an MRI and there's like a bulging disc and there's some other shit.
Does she do the red light therapy at the gym? Do you guys have the black card? Red light therapy is supposed to crush.
The one over here has red light therapy?
Yeah, and there's massage things there too, which I'm not really like. I thought it was kind of not right to do massage. I feel like that's too comfortable and luxurious. Like you shouldn't really get down with that, but it's like $20 a month. And so start doing the thing where you can lay in the thing.
No, they try to jerk you off.
What? No, I'm saying like if you work on the farm, your back is like
jerk
rough,
you off,
dude. And then the workouts, say you're doing squats and the things across your back.
Yeah, but you go and you go like, my shoulder, my traps, and they go, pull on your dick. And you go, no, not my dick.
There's no
my
human
dick.
in there. You just sit in the chair, but they got the red light therapy
Yeah,
too.
you know, the chair tries to jerk you off
then
too.
You need the inversion table too, bro, for the back issues. Hanging upside down like is a life changer.
Yeah, well,
life changer.
So we were looking into that. I think I want to get this one that attaches to the doorway and it pulls your neck because hers is high.
Get it, dude.
So it's not like the lumbar.
Dude, hanging upside down is life changing.
Yeah,
it's staggering how sore your back can get. And then if you start to just do it every day, even when your back's not sore,
she's taking Advil every single day.
Don't want to do that.
Multiple
Is it
times
sciatica?
a day. No, it's not sciatica. Maybe no, I don't think it's sciatica. She got the thing, like I said, there's a bulging disc, there's a slightly fractured disc or something like that.
What's Ali Owlplant's secret then? Come on.
I'm not joking. I get over bulging dick.
Stop it.
Corset? What? Oh, to like squeeze. Yeah, but if it's in your lower back, I could see that. If it's squeezing you and it's expanding your vertebrae. But dude, I'm telling you, she's been taking Advil every day, multiple times a day for like
Elohim
2 years.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's crazy as shit. I think it's destroying her gut. Her stomach is always fucked up too. I'm like, yeah. And then we just can't, every time she stops, it's just, debilitating pain and fucking all this stuff. All right. I think that's all we got. Yep, that's all we got.
That's all the videos?
That's all the videos. It's over now.
No, I thought we had other stuff, dude.
No, it's an hour 42. You've already done 3 shows today. I don't want to
I felt terrible there for a minute, but I really just had to go to the bathroom really bad.
You made poops?
Now I'm ready.
You did a poops?
Yeah, have a protein bite.
No, I don't want a protein bite. What do you want to talk about?
Well, there was that thing that happened today, man.
You just say that. There's nothing that happened today. You can tighten it in the area where the disc pane is. So it's up here. Like, I don't know, fucking the chat. If you look at me, it's like up here. So that's why I'm thinking there's like a doorway one that kind of like hangs from your jaw and it pulls your shit up
too. Then dude,
pulls on your neck.
Gravity's just pushing
like
it.
a noose?
I don't know.
Like a well, no, not like a noose. Different from a noose. When will Johnny Woodard interview be rescheduled? I don't know, dude. We tried, and then fucking Johnny was like, "Dude, I'm sorry," and we went back and forth, and it just kind of fell apart. And I don't know. I got to reach out to him.
What's his deal, Johnny Woodard?
Johnny is Tripoli's co-host.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I love Johnny Woodard. He's great. But yeah, man, we got to find something because he tried to go to the Chinese, the massage one, and it was for my wife. And then the lady kept going, "I jerk off your husband?" And I go, "No, not for me, not for me, for her." And she goes, I jerk off your husband." And so we go, maybe this isn't the place for us. Go for wood flooring, Matt.
Go for wood. Like what they made the art
No, I
out
know.
of?
Yeah. Apparently that only grows in Florida.
What is it? Are they talking about
making floors out of it?
No. Is that specific wood? Is it
super buoyant?
I forget that. No, I'm trying to remember like
made
what
of
they
gophers.
They don't call it gopher wood today. Whatever that tree is.
It only grows in Florida.
Okay, let's do like at least 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm riffing right now.
Yeah, questions and answers.
Chris Cornell had one of those in his closet. One of the little Asian masseuses that jerked him off.
No, he's talking about an inversion table. Telling you, dude, it's gonna save her life, bro. Get an inversion
table.
Yeah, hang upside down because it's gravity. I know you guys.
No. We had one, and it just wasn't hitting where, because that's like all.
It's the whole back.
It's not up here.
It's everything.
Not up here though. Not up here.
It's the very top.
It's like, basically right where the neck meets like the shoulders is where it is.
Okay. I think it would still help, man.
Well,
it's the Florida Terrea.
Was Nancy working a massage parlor? No, I don't. Not when we found her.
Are you positive? She's never worked in a massage parlor or done nails or anything?
Oh, she's done nails.
I don't like touch.
I don't like touch. Because of your time at the massage parlor?
I don't like touch.
I don't like touch. Get Bryan of Demon Erasers to fix her back. Yeah, maybe she's got some shadow serpents coiled around her fucking vertebrae. I don't know.
You don't give her a massage, bro?
Yeah, but it's not. It's like
doesn't matter. The husband touch will definitely heal, dude.
But an MRI, it's bulging discs.
I don't care what the MRI says, bro. You keep doing the thing, man. You do the rub, you get the lotion, you make sure she's good. It's very healing, dude. Very healing.
Meat Cavern said rude. Oh, he's still listening back to when we said that he was circumcised and autistic. And I'm very sorry for that. I don't mean to.
How long ago was that?
Oh, it was like 10 minutes ago. Wow. Okay. Traction will fix it. I promise you. Like
Simulacra Times is a doctor.
Simulacra. Just don't get back surgery. Yeah. She knows that because she worked at a chiropractic's office where she thinks is where she hurt herself after an adjustment. And
Simulacra is not a doctor.
Simulacra is a doctor. And she would watch a lot of people get like railroaded down that path of like, oh, just get surgery, because he was getting like a
lot of money.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you take the pain meds. Next thing you know, your life is shot.
Next thing you know, they fuse you. They fuse your stuff. They send you to the Chinese place. They jerk your husband off. It's fucking crazy. You don't want to go there. Yeah. The door noose might be on the right path. I think so, because it targets it directly. You know, if you do just an inversion table, the problem was it's because I used to have one really great for your lower back and like up to like maybe the middle of your back. But as far as like your neck and shit goes, it does nothing. Can't get my neck cracked anymore. Panda says, I have a question for Matt. I was reading Esser last night and came across casting lots. Yeah, he hates that bitch. Casting lots again. And I was curious enough to go on a deep dive. Is this divination? We do not cast lots anymore because we hear and see the will of God now, though the Holy Spirit, or through the Holy Spirit.
Short answer is, I know Top doesn't like this. The short answer is, I don't know. Because like you go to
You're supposed to know everything.
You go to the apostles in the book of Acts and they cast lots.
Yeah.
They say, hey, we got to get somebody to take Judas' spot. Like he's out. So, and they cast lots.
What's casting lots?
It's like a thing like drawing straws. I don't fully know, to be honest, but it's
drawing straws is divination. That just
I don't
feels
know.
like that's how
I
you
don't
get
know.
to.
It's like a thing where like everybody picks one or something, and then boom, it landed on him, so he's the one.
Oh, it's like spin
it
the bottle.
Sure seems like divination or like dice, yeah, like a chance thing. But I think
so we're not supposed to do any chance stuff, huh? Like flipping a coin is a kind of a chance thing.
No, I don't know. We'd have to go back and look at Yeah, I think that's accurate. Simulacra Times, who is a doctor and isn't a doctor.
Yes.
The answer to the dice was the will of Yahweh. Yeah, like I think that is where that started from, was that there was something, man. The Urim and the Thummim is another weird one that we might, if we didn't know anybody, would say, oh, that's necromancy too. The Urim and the Thummim.
Okay.
The glowing stones. So I don't know. I don't know. We could do a deep dive on it at some point. I never really studied out the whole like casting lots, but I've always been intrigued by it. Every time I come across it, I'm like,
I like to flip a coin sometimes.
Yeah.
It feels like the same spirit. You know what I mean? Flipping a coin, rolling dice, spinning a bottle, kissing your friends on the mouth. It's the same stuff.
Yeah. What's the odds
Magic
of the
8
unseen
ball.
realm?
Yeah,
well,
Magic 8
that's
ball.
definitely a wild thing. But like, what's the odds that something in the unseen realm isn't messing with the dice when you throw it? Or messing with the thing when you flip it, or messing with
if it has enough energy to open up your cabinets, you can flip your shit around a little bit. Jerk your husband off.
Okay, somebody asked if there's wood-fired pizza in the villages. I don't know why. Are they trying to come to the villages?
Wood-fired pizza in the villages. I think there is a place. It's actually not too bad. I don't know if it's wood-fired.
I don't eat a lot of pizza unless I'm on the show. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't have like a go-to pizza spot.
AJK says, I went to my chiropractor who worked with fighters years ago, and he worked my bicep for 20 of the most painful and erotic minutes of my life. All the upper back tension went away. Yeah, but it's a bulging disc thing. So I don't know. They're related.
Gopher wood is closest related to cypress. Huh. Who would have known? Cypress is a weird one too, man, because it grows like in water. Like it can be in water.
Okay.
It's got to be near water, but we've got a giant cypress tree in our front yard in
no water.
There's no water around.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
They get the really cool cypress balls that are full of the cypress oil.
Spin the bottle and throwing dice at Bro Grove. Well, I do think it's all like, so if you're going to make a distinction between casting lots, and or if you're going to call that a form of divination, then really anything that leaves a thing up to what we call chance can be filed into that same category. And then if you think about like the spirit of gambling and shit, right? Like the spirit of, let's say, Las Vegas, like Sin City. What's going on at Sin City? What's like infamous for gambling, you know? And I don't know, like,
well, even like the whole concept of saying like good luck. Even
good luck is bullshit, right?
People are saying like, hey, don't do that. Like for the longest time I didn't, but I don't know.
I try not to say like I got lucky. Like I try to say
but
I've been blessed.
I will tell somebody good luck because I understand in our culture that
but you use it in a negative connotation. You'll go like good luck with that. Hey, you don't want to fucking do it. Hey, good luck. Like you've done that a lot. I've heard that. Yeah, you do, because you're really nasty like that.
No, I'm not.
Drunken softball at Bro Grove, the dangerous retards. You know, there's so many like, you know, baseball fields around here in this immediate area. We could feasibly do that. We'll get some jerseys and shit and do dangerous retards. But I don't think anybody wants to play softball in 90-something degree weather in the middle of August, unless we get the lights on, the stadium lights, and it's nighttime. But I don't know how that works. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. I know it's always on.
Dude, softball would be a blast.
Softball, yeah, but not in the daytime, not in the heat. You know how crazy that would suck?
You'd have to have some booze.
I mean, some of these people smell bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, really bad.
There is a cool disc golf like right around the corner.
I have a cool disc golf right behind your head.
I know.
You see it? Did you look at it?
Hope it goes well. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. It's got eggs on it.
Yeah, it's good.
Raven eggs.
That was from Scott. Thanks, Scott. Marco Polo in the Springs.
Yeah, it would be a blast. We should all go to the Springs,
everybody gets handsy in the water. That's gross and gay.
Yeah,
and then that little Chinese lady is going to come out and try to jerk off everybody's husbands, and that's not good. Don't do that. You got to keep it totally
Georgia. He's not playing soccer, man.
Oh, Qui-Gon, you mean?
No, it's Qui-Gon.
No, it's the dude from
I'm from Florida, and I'm an athlete. I will dominate anyone at any athletic competition.
He's black, so it's actually true. Luck comes from the Gaelic word.
Where's that guy from in Florida?
Gaelic. Gay luck. Gay luck? Damn. Dude, you know what was really cool? There's this video, right? I'm watching Owen Benjamin. He's got this unbelievable balcony that he's made at the top of a mountain that overlooks. What?
I know, Herman. I threw out all the mushroom and acid Wait, what did you just say?
What happened? Hold on.
I didn't know Idaho Hermit still has.
I threw out all the mushrooms and acid that were collecting dust in my closet the other day. Feels good to have that shit gone. Oh, that's interesting. That's how it works with psychedelics, bro. You'll have them and hold them for a long time, just like waiting for the moment.
Like you just got rid of them. That's wild.
That's awesome.
Dude. I feel like he's been in the game for a long time, but I guess you never know.
Well, here, this is a really interesting story. So
Clegon played college soccer.
Okay, you're not allowed to look at the chat anymore.
Who's your pro team, dude?
Listen to the story. Ready to listen to the story? All right. So no, look over here. You gotta look over here. You gotta lock in. You can't do this anymore. I'm gonna hide the chat. You want me to hide the chat?
No, I'm listening.
Okay. So Owen Benjamin, he built a deck that is at the top of a mountain and it overlooks a valley. It's unbelievably beautiful. And he podcasts from there. And I'm watching this clip of him and he has this moment, this epiphanous moment where he's talking about toiling and working with your hands and how he thinks it draws you closer to God. And,
amen.
And he's like going on and he goes, I wonder, like, you think about like manual labor, right? Like, and he's just using like kind of this wordplay. And then he stumbles upon like Emmanuel as like, Mexicans do manual labor. Sometimes their name is Emmanuel. And then he's like, what the fuck does Emmanuel mean? And it means like
God
closeness
us, right?
Yeah, God is with us.
Yeah.
And he's like, holy shit. Emmanuel labor, like closeness to God is
so
laboring.
True. That's one of the things. If you live on a farm and you're working, you're dealing with animals, you're getting very close to God in that time.
I miss it because I have nothing to work on. I have nothing to work on. Well, no, I mean, like I have nothing to. All right, go ahead. You want to read the chat? What happened?
No,
You're looking for?
No, I just want to know if
Idaho Hermit,
who is his English Premier League team, if he's like really a soccer player.
Right here, he says, yes.
No, he did. Who's his team?
Okay. I played for the college in Chostown. That's cool. We don't know who that is, though.
No. But if you're really a soccer fan, you have a favorite English Premier League team.
Is that true?
Yeah, like somebody just said Man U. Yeah, means business 420. I'm excited for Man U, like moving forward too. What's his name? Just got the assist record. They're just exciting to watch, dude. The new coach.
Do you think schizophrenics actually see the spirit realm and that's why they are freaking the fuck out? I wonder why eye contact sets them off.
We need Jerry Morzynski back for
Yeah.
last year.
We should invite him to Bohemian Grove, huh? So I would say yes, because part of being a schizophrenic at some of the more egregious, stages of it includes visual hallucinations. And so I don't think they see or perceive the entire spiritual realm, although I'm not saying that there isn't somebody out there who can in some way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that commonly they're probably seeing elements of it bleeding over, like bleeding into.
Just like when you're on acid and mushrooms, you're seeing stuff that's there.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Not a good time. Has anyone seen Green Street Hooligans? It's about soccer games. Okay, we got to wrap this up now because now we're at the stage of the show where we're talking about soccer. Is there anything that you want to say in closing?